Hello everybody, welcome back to the OFS World Cup 2023, round of 16, coming at you. Plenty more banging games coming up for you this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever it is in your time zone. The next one is going to be a matchup between two titans of OWC history, the Russian Federation and Hong Kong, going at it in the round of 16. High level matchup here. I'm Doomsday, and I'm going to be casting this one with the lovely Vordy. How's it going?
Going fantastic, Doomsday. I'm glad to be here. This is one of my most, look forward to matches of this weekend. Russia, probably the best they've ever been, I think, as a team. This roster is absolutely insane. I think they performed above a lot of people's expectations when they seeded 4th in the qualifiers. I definitely had them in my top 8 pick'ems, but 4th overall is insane. This roster is stacked. But Hong Kong, on the other hand, is a team that has traditionally done really, really well in not just OWC, but other 4WC, 3WC tournaments, and they are notably very, very good at gimmick and those techie kind of skill set, which I think is really where they're going to shine in this matchup. But I think they are coming as the underdogs, obviously being, I believe, seed 13 up against seed 4, but I think this team has a lot of potential to cause a ruckus against this Russian squad.
They have enough firepower to do damage at the round of 16. It's early enough where the backing players of Hong Kong should still be able to thrive here. There are quite a few nasty maps already, though. But we know Hong Kong's key players, A21 and MCY4, they are scary against any team. Russia's going to have to be very careful, but their roster has so much talent. They can take on pretty much anyone this year. You put the nail on the head there. They are in it to go far this year. A stern test for them here, no doubt.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Russia's first real test of the lineup. It's going to be a chance for Hong Kong to really prove their abilities as well. And I think, you mentioned, as we were talking about this before in the match, this pool is already really hard. Like, for round of 16 OWC, you already have 7-star mechanics maps. You have a lot of really tough gimmicky maps. This is already at a point where the skill limit, the skill test of a lot of these players is going to be tested, notably for those 3rd and 4th players. Fielding a good 4-man for a lot of these maps is going to be quite a challenge, even for a team like Hong Kong that's seeded relatively high. And I think that's really where the match is going to come down to. Do they have those really good 4-mans for a lot of these maps? As you mentioned, A21, MCY4, you can expect some fantastic scores out of those players, but Russia has so many monsters. You have Chikoni, Welter, Scrowell, Din. You have so many insane mechanics players, so many players who have been popping off in open rank tournaments. I don't think they're going to have too much of an issue fielding really good 4-mans for most of these maps, including the gimmicks, including the mechanics, but it'll be left to see if Hong Kong can do the same.
We'll soon see. It begins here. Picks and Ban's going to be kicking off in just a moment. Hong Kong kicking us off and immediately getting rid of some of the tapping maps in the pool. The DT2 unfinished. More of a control-based DT taken down there. That's a curious one, leaving the faster maps open.
I mean, I would say DT2, although it does have finger control elements in it for sure, with those quads and those doubles, still has a good amount of stamina. But obviously, if you want to target pure speed, free mod 3, DT3 might be better options for that high BPM. But sometimes teams feel better on high BPM, faster patterns, smaller circle notes counts than the DT2, which is more stamina. So maybe that's the case for Hong Kong, but Russia going to be thinking about their ban. I imagine they banned something in the gimmicky, ulti, techie range. Not necessarily low AR, because I do think the Russia low AR team is pretty good, but they could ban it. But maybe something like No Mod 3, maybe something like Free Mod 1. Let's see what they go for.
Let's take a look. Thinking about it. Really thinking about it. And there it is. No Mod 4, that's that's low AR No Mod taken down there. Okay. So they are afraid of the gimmick then, a little bit, against Hong Kong.
Honestly, it makes sense. It's interesting because you do have 2 approach rating 8 maps in the pool. You do have the Hidden 2 and the No Mod 4. So if both teams are feeling pretty good, and I do think Hong Kong has a fantastic low approach rating roster, so banning one of those makes quite a lot of sense against that team. But at the same time, Russia's low approach rating team is nothing to scoff at. So if Hong Kong does want to pick that Hidden 2, which is a good chance they will, definitely might be favored, but still not going to be a very easy pick to win against Russia.
Yeah, Xion, mind gaming or not, I just SS that to say.
I mean, I believe it. I honestly believe it. No mod 4. I think we saw Kriller SS that in match, so it's definitely possible. That will be Hong Kong picking the No Mod 2, which honestly makes sense. I did mention before, Hong Kong likes to pick into tech, likes to pick into those control gimmicky type maps, and this is one of those maps. See, No Mod 2 traditionally in normal tournaments are usually the stream map, but this is a bit of a mix of flow, aim control, and tech. It's not just your standard streams. It's a lot of cut streams, a lot of acceleration and deceleration. So it's not going to really be testing your stamina as much as it's going to be testing your ability to weave in and out of a variety of flow and some techie sliders.
Yeah, a lot of the cuts in this, really where the difficulty comes into it. Immediately we're seeing some of the key players coming for something like this. Of course, MCY4 and A21, I imagine they'll be here for a lot of the match. I think
maybe every map actually, yeah.
Yeah. I think A21 subs out a couple times, particularly a couple of the tapping maps so far, I've noticed. Backed up though by Xion and Max Birio.
First pick, oh yes, yeah. Gamer. I'm probably just gonna call him Gamer, but it is Gamer 228666. Chikoni, Desuki, and Handsome Me. This is gonna be Hong Kong's first pick, but this is a scary one. Russia is really good at tech. They're really good at flow aim, so this is gonna be a hard-fought victory, but let's see how both of these players do. I do think this is going to be one of those matches where it really comes down to how players are feeling on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, history gives us some hope for this match, because you mentioned in chat they played in 2021, and that was a 5-6 result. I won't say which way it went. If it's anything like that, we're in for a treat.
I hope for something like that. My bones crave tiebreakers. Need some early breaks. MCY4 and Handsome Me. Definitely don't expect to see MCY4 being the first to drop for his team.
Getting those early jitters out. Getting them out of the way.
A21 as well.
That's going to sting now. 3 FCs to 2 before we get into the first real drop of this map. Advantage Russia early on.
Plenty of time to recover. We still have those 2 full combos, and MCY4 has recovered. Can Russia hold on to these combos? Is the first real test of the map. You can see it's definitely flow-aim focused for a tech-style map, but Max Brio is going to drop. That's only 1 FC left on the side of Hong Kong. It's just Xion. MCY4 has recovered. It's just nobody on the side of Russia is missing in this section. It's still only Handsome Me with that early break. But the rest of the team is holding through, and they make it into the quote-unquote free combo with a massive score lead.
Yeah, that's huge for Russia. Holding through that one is huge. The next hard part's coming up, but that's going to be a big lead by the time we get there, 40.
Yeah, it's so brutal that all of the team made it through that section, because this part isn't really too hard to combo. And Hong Kong is going to be fighting an uphill battle going into this last section. They're going to need to see at least, I want to say, 2 breaks on these FCs from Russia, which is possible, but needs to happen soon.
Yeah, this build to catch people out. You gotta be careful here. Here we go. Second big drop. The last quarter of the map, really. 300k, that's a big lead now. They might just get away with this, Russia. And there goes the last FC from Hong Kong. That's going to be it for them.
Just Handsome Me to break on the section from the side of Russia. If they can 3-way this, that is quite a statement. A little bit of the map left. The pick's already decided. Chikoni will find a break. It's now 2 FCs remaining. Gamer and Desuki. Can they do it? MCY4 with a fantastic recovery on the side of Hong Kong, but Russia will double FC with a monstrous team score. 3.3 million on Hong Kong's first pick.
It's a statement, isn't it? It's a statement. It's the slider break there from Chikoni. It's a 2 miss from Handsome Me. Yeah, fantastic team score. Going to be one of the highest of the weekend for sure. And, well, not the start Hong Kong would have wanted, but Russia will take that one all the way to the bank. And that's a quick DT3 pick straight away from Russia.
And I think that's one of those tough things when you're up against such strong teams. I mean, that skill set is a Hong Kong skill set. On paper, it should be a good pick, but Russia just has so few weaknesses. They don't really have a real significant weakness, and even at this stage where the maps are pretty challenging, they can just pull off massive performances like that. And they do go into the DT3, the speed map. I believe this is over 260 BPM, 10.1 pro trading, just a challenge on pure high BPM speed. Not too much in the way of, rhythm or finger control, but is going to just test your raw speed mechanics, and that is something Russia has in spades with this roster.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of maps like this, the Russian team, historically, and certainly this year, is one of the strongest in the entire tournament. They can take on pretty much anyone. Maybe Australia could push them close, but they are a terrifying speed roster, and this is a power pick, no doubt. Hong Kong have to fill a bit for speed, I've noticed. And even though this map is fairly standard in style, it's still pretty hard for the style. So it's going to be a tricky one for Hong Kong to break this, I think. I can imagine the consistency from the Russian roster on this is going to be something else, but we'll see, though.
Yeah, as you mentioned, it is just a... it's relatively simple in terms of the patterns it dishes out, but it's just strictly hard. And I believe in both the qualifiers and the last round, Russia plays these types of maps so well. You can imagine Welter, Ciccone, Desuhi, Din. I mean, all of these players are so fantastic at speed. We'll have to see. Obviously, Hong Kong has some fantastic players. I know F2X is, one of the Hong Kong tapping specialists, but we'll have to see how the four-man does.
It's pretty consistent. It doesn't really change a lot in its style the whole way through. What you see here is pretty much what you get for the entire way. Early break there from A21 on the side of Hong Kong. Very early on, though.
Not going to make a huge difference. You can see this map, unlike the DT2, doesn't really throw much any quads at you, which is good. Makes it a little bit simpler to tap. Desuki will drop on the side of Russia, but still 3 FCs to 3, evening it out. I think Russia has a solid accuracy advantage going into this early section, keeping them pretty much giving the majority of their score lead right now.
Keeping that combo down. Really good act from Ciccone early on, as you'd expect from such a proficient DT player. Combo is king at the moment.
Combo is king, but Din dropping, as well as MCY4, still pretty even.
It's a bit in favour of Hong Kong. They're going to creep it over slowly. Next drop's coming now, though. They have to hold through it to really make use of it. F2X drops his FC.
It's a massive break. MCY4 as well, breaking on the recovery, and that's so huge, especially worst part of the map to miss halfway through. You're going to score cap yourself. The hardest here. ATM1E1 breaking as well. It's now just Max on the side of Hong Kong, but also at 94% accuracy, not the highest on the team. MCY4 breaking again, and now Russia is just going to start snowballing the score lead as Ciccone and Welter is still holding to the FCs, and everybody else on the team is recovered.
Yeah, settled into a groove now. Slightly easier part, although this map doesn't really have any proper slow parts. Max Birio dropping his big combo. And that's grim. That's curtains for Hong Kong on this, surely. Everyone on Russia has a combo on everyone on Hong Kong with the last quarter to go.
Yeah, and just a solid first pick. I mean, this is what you expect from a team this strong at tapping, picking their first map. Just a dominant performance. And now, I mean, with the outcome of this DT3, you have Fremont 3 as well. That is a 240 BPM speed, tapping heavy map that they'll almost definitely go into at some point in this match.
Yeah, it's a well that they can definitely draw from quite a bit in this matchup. There isn't too many maps. They have to change the strat a little bit, especially if Hong Kong break. But I can imagine we're going to see plenty of speed abuse in this matchup looking at this. Because this is dominating. That's what Russia can do when you give them a speed pick. 2 big FCs again from Team Russia. That's a great FC from Chaconi.
Yeah. Fantastic accuracy. One of the premier tapping players in the entirety of us. And I mean, it's interesting, 2 back-to-back double FCs on quite distinct skill sets. Russia right now just not faltering at all. 2 fantastic maps. Now it's going to be Hong Kong going into their second pick. And this is where the pressure starts, because if you lose this map and then Russia converts on their next pick, you're going to be 4-0. So this is where Hong Kong really wants to bust out a map they feel super, super confident on and really, really get this point on the board. I'm not really sure what to go for here. You have Hidden 2 if you want to lean into the Pro Trading 8 that Russia banned, but I think with the roster, Free Mod 1 could also be an option, but I mean, Russia is such a strong team, you'll have to pick precise here if you want to get a point on the board.
Yeah, they got to be careful. I think with both Hiddens open, that's something Hong Kong could use. They could bring in some of their gimmicky players and get onto those maps, because both of those hidden picks are pretty tricky. That Hidden 2, the Yosei Teikoku low AR, is very hard though. It's a skill cap map for sure. But maybe Hidden 1 could be a choice, maybe?
Honestly, I think if you have players on your team who are feeling really good on the Hidden 2, even just like 1 or 2, at least 2 players, I think it is going to be a good strat, because as you mentioned, Hidden 2 might be one of the hardest maps in the pool, I want to say. It's difficult to distinguish for myself, but I mean, yeah, that map is brutal. Like for a reading map above 6 stars, and they go for it. They go for the Hidden 2. So they're clearly feeling good on the low AR. See, Russia banned the No Mod 4 for a reason, but yeah, as you mentioned, Doomsday, this is a brutal reading map, maybe one of the hardest maps in the pool.
It's such a multi-skill map. It tests so many different sorts of patterns on the AR8 Hidden, and it's got quite a big aim element as well. It's the sort of map you want that one reading player who just plays so much AR8. He knows it like the back of his hand. You need an Ikaro with you to really carry you through something like this, unless you're a very, very top team. Shion mentioned he did pretty well on the No Mod 4, so I imagine he's going to be not too afraid of this. Hibiki's in, that one makes sense too, one of their gimmicky players for the control maps. No, A21, he subbed out for this one.
Maybe A21 not feeling as good on the Pro Trading 8. I do think Hong Kong is a very, very strong reading country, so they definitely have many fantastic reading players. Inside of Russia as well, this is also a team who's pretty solid on this low AR skill set. You have Handsome Me, Markram, Dasuki, and Scrowell. I think Scrowell had a very good performance on one of the Hidden 2s, if I recall correctly, either one of the low AR8 Hiddens, either last week or in qualies. We'll have to see how this goes. This is one of those maps where you're just not going to see that many FCs, if any, realistically. This is one of those maps you could have a real carry performance stand out for your team and make the difference.
It opens up quickly, opens up tough, and immediately seeing a couple breaks, Scroll, Max Burio and MCY4, 2 FCs down, 3 FCs down early on from Hong Kong. Actually, everyone goes... This intro does not give you a chance to get used to the map.
And I mean, you can just see how brutal this is. Hidden low AR flow aim, notably, is such a rough thing to be consistent on. You also have some 1/3s. You have some marker missing on one of the aim parts. It's now just Dasuki with the combo, the FC, so to speak. But the recovery combos will matter a lot on a map like this.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking as well of key hidden players, Markram on the side of Russia is a player you absolutely want for a map like this. Incredible low AR reading player.
All of the combos gone handsomely, and Dasuki dropping. It's not only Scrowell with the recovery, but I think now Hong Kong with a significant combo advantage. Plenty of time to build back up for Russia though, but if you're Hong Kong, you really want to hold on to these combos. I think this pick is a crucial one to win.
Linears. 2 big resets on Team Russia. Shion resetting. Advantage very much with Hong Kong now, though, in this slightly slower path. Scroll with a break there. He's going to push that lead even further in Hong Kong's favor early on.
Hong Kong with a massive combo advantage. They haven't taken the score lead yet because this section isn't super dense with nodes, but in a moment, once the map picks up back again... had to be breaking there.
2 breaks on the slow part for Team Russia. Here comes the solo now, though.
This is where Hong Kong can really build up that score on these streams. Xion breaking, MCY4 breaking as well. It's only Hibiki and Max Brio. But Max breaks as well. It's now only Hibiki. And if you're Hibiki, you really want to hold on to this combo because that's really what's going to give you that score lead that'll hopefully carry over and convert the point for the map.
Yeah, it's on Hibiki now. He's hit that stream section clean there from Hibiki, but it's all on his back because he's the only one on this team with combo. 2 combos on Russia are building now. Handsome Me and Scroll.
Still looking pretty good for Hong Kong just because the combos on Russia aren't too big, especially with Handsome dropping. It's now only Scrowell. So Hibiki has the chance to pretty much seal the deal, getting through all of these rough flowing patterns.
Just Scroll with over 500 combo now. That lead's pretty big, getting into the final parts of this map. Hibiki hitting 1000 combo now. Some nasty aim to be found here. He drops his combo. Is that enough though? Russia have some combo here.
I actually wonder, there's so little time left. I don't think Russia has enough time unless Hong Kong maybe finds some chain misses. That score lead is flicking back. Under 100k now, but there's just not many notes left. I think this should be Hong Kong.
Is it? I don't know, Vordy. Oh. That's closing in quick, man.
It's going to come down to the wire. It flips over.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, it flipped over right at the last second on such a crucial pick for Hong Kong. They narrowly lose it by 20k, and now Russia is up 3-0 going into their second pick.
Yeah, the recoveries on multiple of their players through that final chorus and that ending. 3 of their players holding great combos through that, just hauling that lead back from 200k. Hibiki with a massive effort to try and hold on to that lead. Great score, 600k, but it is not enough.
Oh, that's got to be a gut check. I honestly think losing by a small margin like that is way worse than losing by a large margin. And I think that just came down to the overall consistency of the Russian team. Everybody on the roster getting above 400k ended up making the difference, even with Hibiki's standout performance with that massive combo. Now if you're Russia, you're going to be feeling pretty good going into this pick because you still have Free Mod 3, which is a really solid pick. They go Hard Rock 2, so going for quite a different skill set. This is 6.5 small circle, flow aim, consistency. And a very challenging map as well. Going from Hidden 2 to Hard Rock 2, both very tough maps in this pool.
Yeah, it's also a huge, just changing gears, just massive change in styles. Going from high AR, small CS, flow aim, from something like Hidden 2. Takes some adjusting. A21 is back in, Hibiki stepping out.
Yeah, you did mention, I think one of the biggest tests of a tournament player, especially at this level, is your ability to play 2 maps back to back that have completely varying skill sets and still performing well.
We've seen some versatility from Team Russia. It seems like they're sticking with a similar roster. Ciccone is back in and ready to rock. Not a particularly long map this either. Pretty short, just 2 minutes. You can see it at the bottom of the screen there.
Yeah, it's a short map, but it's so consistent that I don't really think it's gonna be. If you can hold onto this map, hold onto that combo for 2 minutes, it's already a miracle. This is a very tough one to be consistent on. Similar to Hidden 2, it's pretty flow aim focused as well. See if Russia can take their second pick. It will put them in a fantastic position. It's only 5 points you need to win the match. Squirrel will be dropping as well as Welter. I think I said the last time I saw this map being played, a lot of people broke early on, just adjusting to the small circle size and flow aim, as we see everybody on Hong Kong, aside from Max Brio, dropping. Still Ciccone and Dasuk on the side of Russia with those full combos, especially that accuracy in Dasuk is insane.
And a 99.7. Show comfort, we'll see. Here come the zigzags. coming in here. It's all with Team Russia here. Dasuke gets that break. His team's got his back. They're doing just fine here. And yeah, Hong Kong are really relying on MCY4. The rest of the team really struggling. The accuracy's down and the combos aren't there. Seems like a really good pick into this team looking at this.
Yeah, I mean, this performance from Russia is pretty wild. Shikani still with the FC and Scrowell and Welter still on those recovery combos. It's just MCY4 doing anything he can to stop this dominating performance from Russia, but I just don't think at this point it's possible. Scrowell and Welter do drop, but it's still Chikani with the FC, and I think it's going to be enough, especially with this over 600k score lead.
Yeah, Russia are just fine here. Going into more of an aim section, I'd say. A lot more aim in this section. That score lead is just way too gone. It's just a great pick into Hong Kong. Really caught them out. The players really struggling with this style. It's a solid run here from Team Russia. And is that going to be the FC from Chikoni? It is. It is. The captain leading from the front there. Great score once again there from Chikoni.
Yeah, that is a monstrous score. Yeah, this is a really tough map to FC. Over 7 stars, 6.5 flow aim in the round of 16. Makes me really excited to see what the pools are going to look like in future rounds. But now, Russia up 4-0. And it is Hong Kong's pick. So this is their chance to start swinging things back. They've lost on the Hidden 2. So that's the low AR gone from the pool. I have to see what they go for. Maybe shift gears into a different skill set. Nomad 2 didn't work out for them, but I still think they would probably have a good chance. Maybe something like the Nomad 3 or the Hidden 1, but let's see.
Yeah, they should do. I think that Hidden 2, they did lose it, but they made a big fist of it. They had the better score on their team in terms of like single players. So they should be able to, you know, have some faith in getting another performance on something like that. They are going to stick with control in the grand scheme of things. Nomad 3. Another very spicy one, this.
Yeah, I think this Nomad 3 is the solid pick. I think you just stick to your guns as a team, pick the skill sets you think you can do well on regardless of how the opponent is performing. A very high BPM Nomad 3, especially for the stage, 160 BPM. Pseudo low BPM flow aim, but obviously lots of snappy patterns. You have to be so solid at controlling your aim in these really short but really fast snappy patterns. I do think this is going to be a very difficult Nomad 3. It's one of those maps you don't expect to see too many FCs once again.
It's one of the harder maps in the pool. I think a lot of the players have been agreeing on this because the wiggles in this and the aim control you need for this is pretty crazy. And the fact you can't like cheese some of these wiggles is a big deal. That really does make a massive difference in a one-try format. Yeah.
I think normally snappy aim tends to be the lower BPM alt maps. You know, normally it's like, you know, have 150, 160 BPM flow aim alt. Then you have something like 270, 280 snappy alt. But this is 160 BPM snappy alt. It is not something, you know, most players are going to be really confident on. But we'll have to see how Hong Kong is feeling.
Gamer is back in. He's back into game. Joined by Handsome Me. Inside of Russia.
We'll see if this Russian team can falter. They've been playing this match so well. This is Hong Kong's opportunity to make sure this doesn't end up being a clean sweep. MCY4, I think, is going to be the star player to look out for this map. Such a fantastic ult player.
There's chorus here. That really doesn't let up too much. Chikoni with the break there for Team Russia. It's going to be advantage Hong Kong at the moment. The section does not let up though. A21 drops a huge set of chain misses there.
On that brutal stop and start, having to change your velocity right in the middle of the stream. But Handsome Me does find a break as well. It's not just Dasuke and Gamer. It's It's once again going to be Hong Kong favored. MCY4 holding, Xion, Hibiki with some massive backing combos. That drop from Dasuk.
Yeah, that's big now. Russia don't have much of a combo. It's just Gamer with that big FC, or near FC anyway. Hong Kong with multiple high combos now. They've got the lead. They're going to run away with it, but this section is no joke. More hard patterns to come here.
And with Gamer dropping, that is going to be well in favor for Hong Kong. Chaconi breaking as well. One of the bigger supporting combos. Xion, MCY4, Hibiki, all of the biggest combos on the table, and it's on the same team. Barring a catastrophe, they should be able to convert on this point.
Xion drops his high combo. Big wiggle coming up in just a moment, I think. Here we go. Oh, that's nice there from Hong Kong. Both big combos hit it. MCY4 still FCing, by the way.
MCY4 honestly one of the best ult players, even in like open rank tourneys. I think in MGC he got the highest ult score in qualies. Does find a break. No, right isn't hyping him up. Not going to be the FC, but still a monstrous score on what is probably one of the hardest maps in the pool. And Hong Kong will take this, get their first point on the board, looking to make a comeback going into Russia's third pick. But yeah, really solid team score from Hong Kong.
Yeah, very solid. That's a good run for a map like this. 2.5 million, we take those, and Hong Kong will certainly take that. It is no sweep Sunday. They do get a point on the board, and a basis of which to possibly build a way back into this game.
Yeah, you know, taking this match back, doing the reverse sweep, it's going to be tough, but it has happened before, especially at this stage where it's first to 5. You know, only need 3 more points to make that happen, but Russia still has that free mod 3 in their back pocket. They've looked so strong on both of the maps that they've picked. It's going to be a tough one for Hong Kong to take this back. We'll have to see what Russia goes for. I still think free mod 3 is a really good option, considering their performance on DT3 and the DT2 ban. Otherwise, you know, you can still stay in that hard rock category, go hard rock 1.
And certainly could stick to their guns. They have the mechanics players to do well on a map like that. I think Coffins would probably suit Hong Kong a bit better, with it being more on the aim side of things, a bit less on the control side of things, right? I reckon.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll go on.
Free mod 1? Oh no, I was gonna say yeah, the tech elements in hard rock 1 could be maybe an interesting thing for Hong Kong, because I think they're pretty good at tech, but Russia picking free mod 1 is pretty interesting, just because I thought they would go for something a bit more conventional mechanics instead of going for something weird like the free mod 1. But at the same time, free mod 1 is something that really tests a team's skill cap. So if they think they have a really good 4-man for this good hard rock player, a good hidden player, and they can put up a good 4-man score, this is going to be a very tough one to beat, because it is one of those maps you don't anticipate to have those really comfy modern players.
Yeah, they gave Mark from a ring. He said, hey, we got a map just for you. There's a shiny hidden mod waiting just for you, and there he is. Yeah, you talk about hidden players, Mark Crum is one of the premier ones, especially on the side of Russia. But I do agree this is a bit of a, I won't say odd pick. They'll do well on it, but I feel like it does play into Hong Kong's hands a little bit. But it is a hard one. The AC on this is very hard to come by.
Yeah, the rhythm in this map, getting high accuracy, especially on hard rock with that OD10, is quite a challenge. And you see the modded players for Hong Kong, MCY4 on the hard rock, fantastic hard rock player, especially on gimmicky skill sets like this. Hibiki, we saw how well they performed on the hidden 2, so the modded players are going to be pretty solid. Hibiki does find an early break, but still pretty early into a 3-minute map. And I do think this is honestly something I would have anticipated to see Hong Kong pick later into the match. But that break from MCY4, that's all of the modded score is gone. Xion as well, and Russia is still looking so good in this intro.
Yeah, the MCY4 with that hidden hard rock. The accuracy down though, I guess the mod kind of makes up for it. But yeah, Russia, no issues at the start of this map. Plenty of time for Hong Kong to get some comfort. But they're going to have to come back from behind.
They are indeed. It's a bit of a tall order, but you still have 821 on that no mod FC. fighting off some of the damage Russia's causing, but as they keep this crazy 4-way going, it's only going to get more and more doomed. Markroom does find a break. It's that hidden FC gone, as well as Hibiki dropping at the same pattern. The hidden duo both breaking. Still 3 FCs to 1.
Yes, A21 having to hold the fort. The FC machine going to try and find another one here, or it might just be all over for Hong Kong.
Oh, right as you
is.
say that, there is the break from A21. It's now only MCY4 on pretty solid recovery on the Hard Rock. Shion with a backing score as well, but like, what is this performance from Russia right now? I mean, any doubt I had in this pick is being absolutely cleaned, as Ciccone still on that Hard Rock FC and that double Nomad FC from Gamer and Scrowell. Russia playing out of their mind right now.
They are going in. It's Ciccone on the Hard Rock. This map is so hard on Hard Rock. It's so hard on Hard Rock, but Ciccone just does not care, man.
Yeah, and especially with those breaks from Hong Kong, MCY4, no combo left on the side of Hong Kong. This will be it. At this point, it's just a question to see how dominating of a team score can Russia get right now as they hold this 3-way nearing the end. Scorewell does find a break, but it's still Gamer and Ciccone on the FCs.
Close to banking. One of the biggest scores on this map on the weekend, surely. It'll just be the one FC that's left for Gamer there. Got a bit more to hold on to try and bank it, though. Just a bit more.
Left. Ciccone won't be finding the Hard Rock FC, but still have that Nomad. Oh no!
Oh! No! Why?
I can't tell if that was like a cursor dance gone wrong or just we already won the pick. It's fine. But yeah, fantastic performance from Russia, performing so well in all of their picks. Hong Kong with that win on the Nomad 3. I think their picking strategy was completely solid. It's just, what can you do against Russia when they had some insane team scores? And yeah, I mean, Russia's going to be looking really, really good going into next week, who I believe they'll be going up against Philippines. So that is going to be a match.
That is going to be a match. Matchup of 2 teams on great form in the quarterfinals winners bracket. That's what awaits Team Russia. A emphatic win there against a team like Hong Kong with so much experience and ability. It's a statement victory here for Russia. Hong Kong, though, they have enough ability to make it through this tournament, and they are going to be down in the losers bracket to continue their campaign.
Yep, they'll be going up against the winner of Taiwan-Sweden, which I believe is happening now, maybe on the B stream. So, yeah, stay tuned for that match, because I think it should be happening or swapping over on the stream pretty soon. I believe the match itself has already started. Yeah, fantastic performance from Russia. Really excited to see how they go in the rest of the tournament, the winners bracket, and I think Hong Kong will have a pretty solid time in the losers bracket with that really strong roster.
See how they get on next week in the US World Cup. As already mentioned, yep, on the B stream, we are going to be having, well, in a moment, I guess, we'll have Taiwan and Sweden showing over there. A losers bracket matchup over there. But if you want to stick around here on the A stream, we'll bring into you Japan taking on the new boys Kazakhstan in 22 minutes. A losers bracket matchup as well. One of those 2 teams will be going home, fighting for their lives here in the US World Cup. That's what's happening then. Cheers for the cast, Vordy, by the way. Good to cast with you again.
Yeah, pleasure casting with you as always, Doomsday. Yeah, stay tuned for those matches, and we'll see you some other time.
Stay tuned, guys. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the OS World Cup 2023 round of 16. Next match we have coming up for you is a losers bracket matchup. It is one of the titans of OWC history, Japan, taking on some new blood. The new boys in Kazakhstan, their first OWC, fighting for their lives against a very seasoned opponent. We'll see if it's going to be their year today. I'm Doomsday. I'm back again. I'm casting this with my lovely mate, the one and only Sad Sheba. What is going on?
Hello. I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm doing very well. Glad to have been able to cast this match. I mean, Japan, they have had some great momentum despite being knocked down to the losers bracket, taking China to tiebreaker. It's safe to say this team overall, late stage, is going to be a threat. But they're up against Kazakhstan, who unfortunately have not had as lucky of a run this year. Thankfully, for the first time ever, qualifying in the World Cup, which is always amazing to see. Always love getting new countries finally being able to get into the bracket, but having to go up against South Korea for their first match, they have had no room to breathe at all. And with their next opponent being Japan, it's a tough bracket for Kazakhstan. Obviously, you got to have a tiny bit of hope here. You got to hope with the power of Kamenchik. But on paper, this is a tough matchup for Kazakhstan. You're going to have all the hope in the world for this team. There is a good few maps that you could see Kazakhstan outshining on. I'm particularly expecting mechanics overall to be a skill set for Kazakhstan to play really well on. But outside of that, man, on paper, Japan just looks so much more well-rounded.
It is a case of when you look at the teams head-to-head, see how they've played so far in OWC. If you do feel like the sorts of maps that Kazakhstan did well on, Japan did well on too, and they have great versatility to poke holes in this Kazakhstani team. But anything can happen here. They are a bit of an unknown, Kazakhstan. A lot of their players, with the exception of Kamenchik, who we know is an absolute beast, we haven't quite seen everything they can do, and they might have some stuff up their sleeve for this one. They'd have to find it. They'd have to pull it out, because Japan will not roll over and take an L here for nothing. Here come the picks and bans. They're rolling in slowly, and looks like Hidden 2 from Kazakhstan, I think you could have seen a mile away. They are not a low AR team by any stretch.
Yeah, I mean, not only is this a big weakness for Kazakhstan, but it's a great strength for Japan, especially players with Brawl Pan around and also Lean around. They've got some great reading players, just an overall good team that could run well on the Hidden, especially with Kongo Kinokon as well coming back for Japan. Another great Hidden player for this team. So yeah, no surprises here. It's kind of the perfect ban here for Kazakhstan. Only other potential option you could have seen is maybe the normal 4, which is another alternatively reading heavy map, but less on the hidden side in Japan, or a bit more on the hidden side rather than the normal gimmick side. So yeah. Good ban from Kazakhstan. Double time 2 for Japan. Again, I mean, you can see this a light years away. Kazakhstan, far and away their best skill set being the double time mechanics, and that's reflected in their first pick here of double time 1 for Kazakhstan.
A banger alert. The biggest banger in the pool. I won't hear anything otherwise. Motley Crue cannot be topped as far as this pool goes, I'm telling you. Kickstart my heart. Yeah, this was definitely a big map for Kazakhstan. You go with your strengths. You just have to in a matchup like this. And we'll see if it works for them. It's raw aim. Pretty much all aim. There's like a few triples in this in a slow part, and that's really it. No tapping here. All aim all the time.
Yeah, I have to agree. This is extremely pure aim heavy. I don't believe there are actually any bursts in this map. There's no tapping control with this. It is pure, unfiltered, unadulterated aim city. And with a map like this, with a song also being such a banger, I'm looking forward to this one. This is one of the more comfortable double times. It's very reminiscent of the double time 1 from the qualifiers stage, but being a lot more streamlined, a lot more simple, and a lot more easy to follow. It's a good pick from Kazakhstan. They just want to get a point on the board. They just want to go for something good. And with that double time 2 being banned, this is their next best option here. But Japan are no slouch, man. They've got some good mechanics players, especially in Ryoshi, who has been one of those standout double-time players for Japan. On top of that, you've also got Vv1969493249, who's probably going to be playing everything here. And yeah, there's still that threat of Japan, but this is one of their best maps for Kazakhstan.
Yeah, one of the biggest shots. They gotta land it.
They gotta get the first point.
Yeah, they do have to. They need that momentum. But Japan have a solid reading roster as well. Aim roster as well. Teachy and Vv196949, you mentioned it. Those two are probably going to be planted in this lobby and they won't be moving. Key players for Japan. Did well last week, did well in the qualifiers, and I'm sure they'll give us a show today too.
Yeah, those two are the dynamic Japanese duo playing nearly every single map in both the qualifiers and the round of 32, being one of the main players that gave China last week a run for their money. But we're going into this double time one Doomsday. For Kazakhstan, you got Plombire, Ravexi, Kamachik, and Nezja. I think that's how you pronounce it. Is it Nezja? Oh, I'm just going to say Nezja. And yeah, here we go. It's time for this double time 2. It is time, baby. So let's look into the stats here before we get into what happens here. Kickstart by heart, 7 stars flat, 269 BPM. Not too major considering there's no tapping here. But yeah, it's 2 minutes and 53 seconds long, CS 3.7 and AR 10.3. So you've got a little bit of that fast reading into this early double time here. So you could see a little bit of comfort being an important requirement here. And with those early drops being from Ravalian and Plombire, it's an early, even combo for both these teams.
Yeah, the very early break there from Plombire and Varvalian. Going to be very even. This map's very consistent. What you see here is what you get pretty much the whole map.
Yeah, Plombire with another drop, unfortunately, giving Japan that big advantage there, but that's going to be joined by Konkon Kinikon. The 3 FCs still remain in favor of Kazakhstan. Ravezi, Nezja, and Kamachik still looking good past this first Ki. Plombire's going to drop once again, but the combo advantage still remains in favor of Kazakhstan. There's a good chance here, but the accuracy is holding them back a little bit. Japan do have a good leader, Ryoshi especially with 99.3, but Ravexi is fighting back with it. So there's still a big threat here for Kazakhstan, but they've still got a while to go. We're just about to approach the halfway mark here. And it's so close. It really is just this accuracy that's keeping Japan just barely in this, along with the recovery here. Plombire being the only major player struggling here. But there's Tichi. That's a big combo gone. Plombire's going to get, but that's not the combo you want from Japan. It's going to start flipping down 10, 9, 5, 2, 1. It's going to be in favor of the spinner for Kazakhstan. There's the break. It's dead even, actually. The flip hasn't been just yet, bro. I don't know what that says. I don't know what that means.
His team is doing it. 3 FCs to 1 in favor of Kazakhstan, but the break, can they hold their nerve? They have a lot of advantage here. Varvalian recovering nicely. Japan still very dangerous here. Slow part is going to give him a nice advantage, though. It will be Kazakhstan in the driving seat, but the final core is kicking in. Ryoshi in the break. That's huge now, the last FC.
Kazakhstan, can you do it? Are you going to be able to get your first point in World Cup history here?
I think they might.
It's starting to go further ahead.
2 FCs go down. Only Nezja left with the FC, but that is a large lead. It's closing in now for Japan, though. They're reeling them in here.
Can you do it? Nezja, can you keep it alive? Ryoshi's going to go down once again. There's barely enough time left. Only a quarter, but it's starting to tick down quick for Japan. Kongo Kinikon and Varvalian to stay the threat. Is there enough time, Nezja? It's all up to you. Keep it alive for Kazakhstan. Keep it going. Get the first point on the board. It's a long spin of 30,000. Spin to win is the potential here. Keep going.
Maybe.
There's only 30k. It's so close, but it's closing for Japan. They're putting it up. It's slowly closing in. There's a little bit left. 10,000. And Kazakhstan have got it. The first map for Kazakhstan, just barely by 8,000 score. Kazakhstan, for the first time in World Cup history, get a map in the bracket stage.
Japan, World Cup winners, World Cup champions, World Cup veterans, are 1-0 down to the new boys in Kazakhstan. A huge moment for the Kazakhstan community in Osu. Huge for them. They are on the board in the World Cup. Great FC there from Nezja to pull that one through, and it was so important. He held his nerve, and he did.
Wow. What a first map here. It is Kazakhstan's arguably best map, but God, was that one fun and a joy to watch. And you don't have many teams who get into the World Cup for the first time at Seed 32 get a map on the board at all, let alone against such great opponents in Japan. You could maybe expect for them to get a better point if one of the lower seeded teams could have dropped down early. But when you go against South Korea and then Japan, 2 Asian titans in the World Cup, I mean, you can't help but be proud for this team. They finally got it, but Japan are not done. They maybe take a tiny hit but it's up to the big punches from Japan coming up next. And it's going to be Noble 4. I don't think any of us are surprised at all here. They're both going for their surefire picks.
Yeah, the ban from Kazakhstan really telegraphed this one, didn't it? Go straight into that other low AR pick in the no mod pool. The reading heavy, overlap heavy, DDR banger. There's Rolpan. He's in. He ain't going nowhere for this one, let me tell you. He's the player to watch.
Yep. It's Rolpan's going to be the big guy to look out for here for Japan. He's always been a staple reading player in the tournament scene. One of the most valuable players in this map, especially on a map this difficult. It's one of the harder maps in the pool, and with it being so short, the difficulty really does not give you time to pause, no time to breathe, no time to relax here. Kamenchik is going to be the only one taking to Kazakhstan, but with a map coming up that's this difficult, Japan are just going to easily be able to be really comfortable with this. It really is really a matter of if Japan will choke on this rather than is Kazakhstan better on paper, because Japan far and away exceeded with this map on paper. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Japan will pull here. Are we going to see something epic from Japan, or maybe some miracles from Kazakhstan?
I think it may have to be a bit of a miracle, because low AR is the one mod that Kazakhstan would not want to play. I guess a lot of the players are currently looking in the editor and getting a bit of practice in before the map gets played. Hence why they're all coming in now. It's one of those maps,
That's how you know.
You'll load it.
That's how you know. That's how you know this team isn't comfortable at all.
Nope. I think it's even Japan were doing some last minute prep, I think. But looks like the lineup's in. Rolpan, Tichi, Invoker in for this is interesting.
Yeah, I was expecting Altaline instead.
Yeah.
But hey,
this
this
is the sort of thing I expect him to play.
This is a slightly different kind of reading map. In fairness, yes, it is AR8, but it's more on the overlap side that makes it really difficult. Whereas the Hidden 2 in this week is very much like hidden reading and general like hidden discomfort. Like the hidden makes it way harder than it is. This one is a bit more on the overlapping. You could see this as a practice difference map as well as just reading heavy. So having Evoker around, I guess, is okay. I know on paper we'd probably see Altaline there instead, but Japan still have a really threatening roster of Rolpan, Tichi, Invoker, and Kongo Kindergarten.
It's looking like, this is the squad for Kazakhstan that played the previous low ARs. It's the squad they go for. Let's see if they can take this one. It'd be an incredible break point of all the maps. But, an uphill battle, I think, for Kazakhstan to win against Japan on this. We'll see.
Yep, Kazakhstan, Tanafis, and Shasti are going to be in for the first time. Rebexi and Kamashik second round. But going into these early stages here, it's very clear who's the more comfortable team. Japan still holding on to their four-way full combo going into the first quarter of the map, whereas everybody but Kamashik is struggling immensely here. But Kamashik's holding on to an SS. I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, I know the rest of his team are struggling immensely here, but that is a great score from Kamashik. He loses the SS, but reaching that halfway mark, not only is he holding on to a full combo, but 99.7 AC. Higher, I think, tying accuracy with Tichi, but there's one man who shines ahead of him going into the circle section. It is Invoker, still holding on to the highest AC in the lobby. And this rotating section is one of the harder parts of the map. Really awkward and tough if you can't hit it right. But Rolpan and Kongakino, despite breaking, still have Japan those two giant combos in Invoker and Tichi. Kamachik is also still holding, might I add.
He's still going. Great FC here from Kamashik so far. He's against two on the team of Japan, though, and it's not going to be enough. Japan are just too good at this sort of map, man. Those two FCs are very good. Make that one. But 900k is a great score on this as well. Very well played here for Japan.
Oh my god, Kamashik. The full combo. Wow. And the only perfect combo in the lobby as well. Oh my lord. This is like the... This reminds me of the no help meme. It's just LeBron. It's just him doing everything he can.
It's a great score from Kamashik, though. Real talk. But Japan are just too strong at this map, man. That's a good team score from Japan. Great FC there by Tichi with 2 100s, by the way. Invoker running him close. That's a great pick to catch out the team of Kazakhstan. Although, you know what? Actually, it wasn't too bad from Kazakhstan, and the FC from Kamanchik was definitely great. But ultimately, Japan just counter-picking them pretty hard there.
In fairness, the majority of their team did get around 300k. It is a pretty big struggle, but overall, it actually wasn't too bad from Kazakhstan. Townafist getting 400k, and Shasti and Ravexi both getting 300k. Not honestly, despite it being quite low for a map that's difficult and niche with the skill set requirement, really isn't too bad of a score from Kazakhstan, really, when you think about it overall. Japan just way more comfortable on this, especially with Tichi and Invoker around, who just completely shred on this map. Invoker with 1 miss, might I add, only being 1 miss off of getting that full perfect combo with Tichi around as well. So yeah, it's just a matter of Kazakhstan being up against a really good team here. Still a decently admirable score considering how inexperienced this team is overall. But Kazakhstan are sticking with their comfort picks here. They're sticking with what they know they can play, and it is the free mod 3, the break course speed map, where with hidden and no mod it's a bit dense, but with hard rock it's really precise.
Yes, speed. 240 BPM break core is on the menu for this one. Pretty popular one, we've seen it quite a bit, especially in the earlier matches this weekend, I noticed. Yeah, all speed all the time. Kazakhstan getting into what they're good at. The mod play on this is going to be the curious one, because I feel like Japan have the stronger mod players. Should be able to fill in those mods more comfortably than Kazakhstan would. I feel in theory. Although Kazakhstan do have players that are very specific to each mod in free mod, and they know what their job is, so them going for this, they must have some sort of comfort, especially going into it fairly early on. I guess we'll see. I'd hazard a guess Plombier will be on the hard rock for his team. No doubt about that.
For Japan, they already seem set and happy with it. Bringing in Rolpan, who's almost definitely going to be on the hidden. Surprised to not see Tichi around for this. But granted, he isn't really a Tavern Mechanics player, so... Oh wait, no, never mind. He is going to be in here, I think. I think he's just swapping for somebody else here. He's going to be swapping for Rolpan, actually. So, I'm predicting an overmod here from Japan. I'm predicting Tichi Rikuima on the hard rock, Vivalion on the no mod, and Kinikon on the hidden. That is my prediction, Doomsday.
I can see it. I can see it. Overmodding this is pretty scary, though. The identity does come into it. You mentioned it. AR 9.2 does have an element of reading when you stick no mod on. I guess Japan have the hard rock players that would rather take the reading over the easier mechanics.
Cannot screw it. I'm going to be even more bold. Tichi hidden hard rock. I'm calling it.
Okay.
I'm calling
you know what? I can see that. I can actually see that. I mean, I think with Tichi at this point, it'd just be free score. Stick the hidden on. It's just like, I'll take that. That buff. You take those.
Yeah, with the other Kazakhstani players, I can't really say I know. Do you really want to put your strongest player on a mod that could lead to a risk or a drop, or do you put him on the more consistent one? I know that the common strategy with free mods here from teams of 4 is to put your most consistent and your best player on the no mod to keep it safe and keep it cool. And that is going to be the case for Kazakhstan. Ravexi and Plombire are going to be the ones on the hard rock, with Tynafest filling with the hidden here. Kamanchik going to be in his comfort zone. He's going to be the one to be expected to get the biggest combos here. But we are getting a very different mod set than we expected from Japan. It's going to be Tichi Rikuima on the no mod, Vivalion on the hard rock, and Konga Kinikon, I think unsurprisingly, probably the most expected one being on the hidden here.
You're throwing us for a loop here, Shiva.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a change in strat from Kazakhstan, who certainly in round of 32 they put Kamanchik on the hidden for those free mods, but yep, banking on him to get that high no mod the way he's been playing too. Some early misses there from Tynafis to kick things off here inside of Kazakhstan.
Really early days for this map. It's 3 minutes and 38 seconds long, quite long, so good amount of time to build a recovery here for Tynafis if a Japanese player drops here. But so far, so good for Japan. Everyone holding really, really well, especially Kongo Kinnigon holding onto an SS here. The Tonefest is going to drop once again. The recovery's been shut down. It's just him so far, struggling here to get something back. But there goes Tichi, but it's traded by Plombere. So the major combos here remain even. You still have... Oh, okay, never mind. It's still cool. It's still chill. Yeah. It's still 3-3.
Sort of bang even. It's slightly advantage in terms of Kazakhstan. Well, maybe not. I think that actually was a miss there from Plombere, getting some drops on that burst. Drops by Bavalion, 2 FCs to 2. Still very even here. Recoveries happening for Tichi, so it's with Japan slightly.
You can see room here for Kazakhstan to take this. I think the big issue here is to struggle with accuracy overall as well with the recoveries here. 95 and 94 for both kind of Bavarian respectively, whereas the other side of Japan, you've got triple 99s and 98. It's a tough spot here for Kazakhstan to recover from. It really is going to have to be the combo game to keep it alive. Still keeping this team alive if they can, but Japan just don't let go. Rakuma and Kongo Kinnigon still holding on to their full combos, looking really, really solid here, especially Kongo Kinnigon. What is this score? 99.85 with hidden on a tapping heavy map is really tough to get consistent with. And he's just shredding through this, but he drops as soon as I talk about him. That's a tough curse from me. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. But we still have Rakuma and the recoveries from both Tichi and Bavalion, respectively, to keep Japan in this lead. You do have some good recoveries from Kazakhstan as well. Kamenchik still holding on to his full combo with Tonefest, Revexi, and Plombere, all respectively getting a good recovery here. But it's just the overall supporting combo from Japan. Way too dominant here for Kazakhstan to fight with.
Yeah, Japan are holding on to those recoveries and they're not letting go. A couple players from Kazakhstan have reset, and that's going to stem any big comeback here. There's a quarter of the map to go, but Japan in the driver's seat as long as they hold their nerve here. Rakuma going in on that no mod, still holding the FC, countering Kamenchik here.
Kuima, wow. Really keeping the only big combo from Kazakhstan at bay. Gives the rest of Japan so much room to just push and push. The rest of Kazakhstan are just falling apart here. It's just Kamenchik, but with that amazing, oppressive score from Rakuma, the rest of Japan can just keep on going. Bavalian's holding onto his combo with Hard Rock, and Tichi, despite that drop, is not gonna be too big of an issue. Bavalion has got his back. Rakuma and Kamenchik are both starting to approach the full combo mark. Are we going to see 2 FCs from 2 players of different respective team here? Kamenchik is taking the lead with accuracy, but they will secure the double FC. Varvalion, despite that early break, having phenomenal recoveries as well to keep him in the game. 1 miss for Varvalion, separating him from a full combo. Phenomenal team score here from Japan. There was a couple moments where Kazakhstan could have been a threat, especially with that belt coming from Revexi, but it wasn't going to be enough, unfortunately. Japan take the break point.
I didn't even get a chance to have a good look at Rakuma's score, but it was a very good one. And a nice one to cap off a great point here for Japan. Kamenchik, though, he's on form today, playing well in this match. It's another great score there from Kamenchik. What a quick 3-mod 2 pick.
I mean, the guy... Yeah, and Kamenchik really is the absolute undisputed king of Kazakhstan. Like, he is far and away their best player. It's not even like a question. I mean, Kamenchik can rival some of the best players in this tournament. I wouldn't say the absolute best. We're not talking about some South Korean players and some USA players or Malashevsky. We're not talking about those guys, but Kamenchik is definitely capable of really fighting with some insanely good players. Unfortunately, his nation is a bit too small for him to get other company that can really match up with his potential, which is why we're seeing Kamenchik just completely shredded with the rest of his team struggling to keep up with the maps. But let's get into the next pick here. Japan, 3-mod 2. The aim consistency, kind of awkward-ish map. It's kind of like a Hidden 2 Doomsday in a 3-mod, isn't it?
It is a bit.
Oh, Hidden 1 and a 3-mod 2.
It is. It's AR9 aim heavy, awkward aim, essentially. But it's on 3 mods, so you get your choice of your mods you want. Some awkward patterning, some anti-aim, some linear aim, and let's not talk about the big old stream that just hates you right at the end of this, which I wonder how big of a difference that's going to make in this one. Yeah, Hidden's dense. Nomod's quite dense. Hard Rock has that high end of mechanics. It's already 6.7 stars Nomod. So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Like with Nomad and Hidden, it's gonna be very awkward. It's gonna be quite dense. It's gonna be a lot of circles you're gonna have to follow, and some really awkward patterns as well. There are some patterns in particular, like a linear pattern into a square that follows up afterwards is one of the harder patterns that I'm looking out for this. Generally, overall, throughout this map, the verses are really chill. It's the key eyes where we're going to be expecting a lot of drops. So if you are a Hard Rock player, you are absolutely going to excel in this, and that's why I'm expecting some major overmod here from Japan. I'm probably expecting Vv and TG to be running Hard Rock. Please, TG, this time, please run Hidden Hard Rock. Rollpan, 100% rocking the Hidden. Altaline, most likely going to be the Nomod fill. Altaline has always been a good reading and aim player. He is capable of rocking the Hidden here, but it's not going to be this map. He is going to be rocking the Nomod, and I expected the double Hard Rock here from Val and Tichi. No Hidden Hard Rock from Tichi. Big sad, big cry. But on the side of Kazakhstan, we are going to be seeing Kamashik on the Hidden and Ravexi on the Hard Rock.
That one looks more like the usual Kazakhstan free mod. Kamashik on that Hidden. And Ravexi or also Plombeer takes Hard Rock. The Plombeer not in. Shasti coming in. One of the Nomod players there. It's very spiky, this map. The verses are, I'd go as far as saying they're pretty easy. But the choruses really step it up with the spacing and the awkwardness.
Yeah, this part of the song and the choruses are going to be where the major difficulties of this map will spike. And of course, the bridge to the final ki is, of course, the hardest part of the map with the biggest jumps, and the final ki just bumping up in difficulty as well. It kind of stays that way until the very late stage where you get the easy verse and you get the hard ki, and then when it gets to the end, that's when the difficulty really starts to jump up, even if the ki's beforehand are difficult.
You know what, though? There's already 3 misses on Team Japan early on.
Yeah. So far, so good here for Kazakhstan. Keeping on this combo, Ton of Fists unfortunately is going to drop, but that's 1 out of 3 FCs. That's 1 out of 4 FCs gone for Kazakhstan. You still have those 3 done here. Kamashik, Shasti, and Ravexi still looking really good here. Despite on the other side, you got Japan with 2 drops, an early drop from Altaline, giving Kazakhstan this lead past the first ki. It's just Tichi with the Hard Rock holding on, and that's a dangerous one because despite this being a lot more on the comfortable side, the mechanics really ramps up with the Hard Rock, as I mentioned before, Doomsday. Rollpan with another drop, uncharacteristic of him. Ravexi may go down, but you still got the 2 big combos here from Kazakhstan to keep this lead alive by about 100,000.
Yeah, so far so good here for Kazakhstan. Rollpan struggling quite a bit on the aim consistency on the Hidden. He's got time to recover it though with the next ki happening a little bit later. Tichi Hard Rock though, he's a player I'd trust on Hard Rock, but it is precarious for anyone else. We'll see if Tichi can keep it together.
Altaline!
Oh god!
That's a big drop!
Wow, on the slow part, that is really unfortunate for Altaline. That's going to hurt them a lot, actually.
Yeah, Ravexi may join in with that drop, but it's not the break that you want. These 2 combos for Kazakhstan are still extremely valuable here, but Shasti's going to go down. It's all up to Kamashik. It's him against Tichi, but Japan have a really good double recovery here. Actually, no, I take it back. It's very even, actually, if not in favor a little bit here of Kazakhstan. But Valian's going to go down, and here's the break. It is Kamashik against Tichi. It is these 2 to duke it out here. Whoever holds on towards this ending section could decide the fate of this map. There's a slow section here. It's just chill and relaxed. There's a bit of a slow slider. There are 2 slow sliders, actually. That could lead to a slow if someone gets a little too antsy. But knowing these players, they probably practice this. They're probably very aware of this. Up next, after the slow part, is going to be the big stream and jump section.
And they hold the nerve. It's the 2 big carries of each team going at it now, and this stream coming up, there's a huge space stream coming up, and this could decide it. If it's one player hits that and the other one misses it, that's a lot of score.
This is
the hitting player can get it.
Ton of Fists has a giant recovery as well. The final ki, Ton of Fists is going to go down. That's the big recovery gone for Kazakhstan. You still have Ravexi and Shaste holding on with a great recovery. Rollpan's going to drop. Big stream section. Can Kamashik hit it? He does, and Tichi's down. Japan have fallen. Ropan and Tichi are gone. Autolean's the last one standing with big combo. Rivali does a recovery. Tonofitz is going to go down. But Kamenchik and Revexi keep it going. Kazakhstan, you've done it again. Another aim map where you have just gotten ahead through the power of national pride and some damn good plays, man. Kamenchik and Revexi looking great in the recovery. Kamenchik defeats the reliable Hard Rock Demon of Japan, and Kazakhstan will even the scoreline 2-2.
And it's a break point as well. That was Japan's pick. These aim maps are just... They're coming up trumps here for Kazakhstan. It's another great run, and Kamenchik... What a player. He is playing so well today. What a score.
What a score. My lord. Outshining Ropan on a dense, hidden map is wild. Wow. That is phenomenal here from Kazakhstan. They have their next pick to come up as well. It has to make you consider going straight for that Nomad 1. It is a little bit of a dangerous one. I mean, after those two maps that they have won, there isn't as much room here for Kazakhstan to guarantee a victory. Those are the two most likely maps I was expecting these two to win. But there is a double time 3 here for Kazakhstan. Again, one of their stronger maps, but still a decent risk. This one is very bursty and finger controlly. It really isn't the stamina that makes this map difficult.
No, not really. There is a strong speed element to it. A lot of bursts into bursts on this at high speed. But it's just generally tough mechanically. There is some pretty nasty aim in here as well. It's not massively spaced, but there's a lot of little movements you have to make, as well as dealing with all of the speed this throws at you. It's a standard style in terms of speedy DT. It's just a difficult one. And certainly one where the higher skill cap players do tend to thrive in a 4v4. Kazakhstan going into it though, they must know what they're doing. Their speed roster should be perfectly fine on this, but Japan have players that can pull you through something like this. And it looks like players are either warming up or taking a look at the map. I presume warming up. You don't really need to practice this map specifically. You just need to make sure you can do the speed.
Yeah, I think they're giving themselves a little bit of chill room to get back into it, get themselves adjusted. For Kazakhstan, they're going to be sticking to their staple double time roster here. Nezja is coming back, Plumbiria as well. Revexi and Kamenchik have been the two main players that have been playing everything for this team.
Yeah,
and
they are
side of yeah, yeah, they really are. They're in a all-rounder jail.
Yeah, you're forced to play every map.
It's like the kid I mean, with the voices. He was forced to play every map. But for Japan, they're going to be bringing in Tichi, Kongo Kinikon, Ryoshi, and Varbalian. Once again, the dynamic duo of Tichi and Varbalian coming back in here. Kongo Kinikon, I'm a little surprised with. Would you say the same, Dooms? Because I would have expected another player to have probably come on here. Probably Autolean, I was maybe expecting to get on here. What are your thoughts?
I think on paper, yeah. We did see Konkon Kinikon do well on the speedy free mod, didn't we? He was one of their key players on that one. Held speed well. True. Maybe he's just warm. He's just ready for a speed pick today. I'd agree though. In a very regular setup, yeah, Autolean would be a good shout for this too. But they have versatility, I suppose. Japan. It's one of their big strengths.
Yeah. While just before we get into this map, I want to give you guys some lovely news. So Sweden has defeated Taiwan and knocked them out of the World Cup without a victory. A big, unexpected run here from Taiwan. Unfortunately, a team who has been stapled as one of the most iconic World Cup regions going to be dropping out in the first knockout round of the tournament. And Sweden will try and advance into the next stage. So congratulations, Sweden, for that victory. And now we are all fully focused on this Kazakhstan against Japan match. Here we go, double time 3, going into this first key high already here. It's looking pretty good for everyone outside of Plumbiere with an early drop. Kamenchik as well, but all of them recovering decently well past this key high here. There's still a little bit of room to maybe see a potential break here from Japan, and that's going to be Varbalian to go down. Is there going to be anybody else from Japan versus Ki to go down? No. But there's Revexi, and that's a big combo gone. Flambire joins him. It's up to Nezha to hold on to this full combo with Kamenchik on the recovery. Japan looking really good past this first Ki going into the next third.
Yeah, some of the players are really struggling on the Ak. Konkon Kinikon down to 92%. He does get the miss. So it is 2 FCs to almost 2 in favour of Japan, but it's not a lot. The comfort looking fairly even. Both teams holding on a little bit outside of their key characters. Tichi doing perfectly fine, and Kamenchik recovering just fine too.
Looking at this so far, recovery's looking really good. Kongo Kinokon's going to drop twice now. But those combos from Japan still remain really impressive. You got Tichi and Ryoshi still holding onto their full combos, but Ryoshi's going to go down. Hold on a second, there's Vavalion. It's just Tichi left to hold on to any major combo here, and Kazakhstan have got a brilliant recovery. It's starting to really quickly shift back now in favor of Kazakhstan. They just got to hold on. Nez just got the beautiful FC alongside with Kamenchik with that early stage recovery. Vavalion's going to drop once again. Ryoshi's going to go down once again. Revexi drops, and that's not the combo you want for Kazakhstan. Kongo Kinokon's down as well. This is a complete collapse from Japan. It's just Tichi left, but it's starting to massively now gain in favor of Kazakhstan. And there's the break.
There's the break. They see it. Nezha and Kamenchik got to hold their nerve. Nezha with that FC is so important here for Kazakhstan. It is not all over yet though for Japan. Tichi is the key player for Japan on this. He's going to be comfortable. It's up to Kazakhstan to hold on to these combos.
Here we go, final Ki. Kazakhstan is going to have to fall apart so soon if they want Tichi to come back. There's barely enough time for Tichi to get enough score to overtake. Nezha's going to go down. That's big, but Kamenchik has got his back. He's still going, and there's Tichi. That has to be secured now. Japan struggling on this, not able to get any big combo consistently on the board with that drop from Tichi, and Kazakhstan will take the lead.
They are fighting now. They got that dog in them, man. Kazakhstan consolidate that break point, and now they are in the driver's seat. Shiba, they are in the driver's seat in this game. Against
Japan. Where were you when Kazakhstan took the lead against, of all teams, Japan in an OS World Cup? Where were you when that happened? Because I was here, Doomsday. I was here. This is
it's
amazing
happening.
to see. We could see one of the biggest upsets in the World Cup yet. This could be Kazakhstan's time. We do still have Japan to go into this pick here. So there's still a shot to even it out.
Here's the thing, though. Kazakhstan have been really strong on aim, and they've been really strong on speed. There is some aim in this pool, but it's kind of weird. Mold is a multi-skill aim stream map. Coffins is a techie aim map. There's no speed left. Kazakhstan need to take a point on something very different. This is the true test for Kazakhstan. Japan are still in a good spot, in my opinion, with a lot of good picks left. They are going into some Hard Rock 2 next to try and get some leverage back in this game. Not a bad choice, I think.
Now, Japan leaning into this precision is very much an expected pick here. They've got a really good set of Hard Rock players, especially in Rikuima, Tichi, and Vavalion, probably the 3 big players to look out for, especially Vavalion, who's phenomenal on this flow aim level, flow aim heavy stuff. Question is, what's going to be the 4th player? What are your thoughts? I'm thinking maybe Ryoshi, or maybe Kongo Kinikon. Those are probably the 2 other 4th players I'm excited for Japan. For Kazakhstan, I mean, obviously you're going to have Kamenchik in here. Flambire is very likely to be in here as well. We could most likely see Shasti come here as well. And my guess is that Revexi is going to be in for the 4th. That's my prediction for these rosters. Doomsday, what do you think?
I think it's a decent shout. I think the Japan roster, they have a couple players that can swap it in and out depending on how they're feeling. I think you'd bring Ryoshi in on this one over Konkon Kinikon if I was leading it, but of course I'm not. It looks like we're not going to see either of those. Tichi, Rikuma, Invoker, and Vavalion. Invoker's back in for some slightly left field picks, actually. He's coming in for some different skill sets to, I guess, what we know him for.
Yeah, this is the second map today where we've seen Invoker play and perform on maps that are not really what we would expect from him, which is always great to see. I always love it when players who you don't know on paper would play this map perform really well. It just goes to show how good and well-rounded they are. Always nice to see and always cool to see. Granted, it is always going to backfire, and maybe people will think differently if it is going to lead to a Japan loss, but I love this Japanese team here, especially with that three-man core of Teacher Fakuma, Bavali, and Invoker is going to make a great filler. And for Kazakhstan, as we expected. Literally exactly what we thought.
It's the crew. The crew is back together to play some precision flowing. This very streamy. We haven't seen too much raw flowing yet in this game, to be fair. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, this is the first flowy map that we've seen in this match. I mean, the closest thing you've got is that Div Spike on Free Mod 2. That's all the flow these guys have been playing. But going into this little early section, it's really looking rough here for Kazakhstan. A full reset already into this intro section with a drop from Vagai and Invoker. Rakuma and Tichi still looking good, but there's still a little bit of a tough stream section before it starts to get a little bit more chill. Big sliders to come through, no sliders break from them. A double miss from Japan from the two equal combos, and that's a full reset there from Japan. Revexi, the last man standing for Kazakhstan, holding on to this big combo that could give them the lead if this builds up more.
This hard part still going. All these streams coming out. They don't really stop until maybe the last quarter. It turns into more aim. Here's some more aim. It's with Kazakhstan very subtly. Not really a lot.
That Alien, that's one drop. As the small combos start to build up here for Kazakhstan, they're going to start establishing that lead. That break from Alien is going to really solidify it here. There's a bit of a chill section here for Revexi to build up that big combo. Your eyes must pay attention to this guy because he's going to be what could give Kazakhstan TB point here. Big streams to come through. Another hard section. Chassis's going to drop, but it's traded by Valley. Revexi still holds on. Kamanchik and Ploberay looking good. There's the break. A quarter of the map left to go, and there's 21,000 score in between them. The recoveries from both Tichi and Rakuma are looking good, but Kazakhstan could take this back.
Here comes the aim now. Revexi gets the miss. Japan still have the lead, but it's by absolutely nothing. It's still going towards Kazakhstan here. Huge misses from Japan.
There's no way this is happening. This is towards the very late stage. As long as there's no chain miss, this could be it. There's a little stream left. A chain miss from Revexi, but that's not going to be enough. Wow. Kazakhstan! They've done it again! That's 2 breakpoints in a row! That's 2 breakpoints in a row, Doomsday! There is no way this is real! I could not believe I'm witnessing this. Kazakhstan are 1 map away from defeating Japan! Japan, Doomsday!
Who put this? I'd be surprised if no one predicted anything like this. And guess what? Kazakhstan won that one, but it wasn't Kamanchik. It was Revexi with nearly 700k pulling it through. The Kazakhstani team making it work here, making the dream work. And this is absolute dreamland here for the new boys against the former OWC champions here.
Japan, despite not winning a World Cup in a good while, they have had veteran players who have been champions. There are several titans in this Japanese team. Several, and I mean several. You've got, of course, I think Konkon Kinikon's probably the longest standing member of this Japanese roster, being through it all for Japan. This nation have been champions, and they are now back against the wall from one of the new blood, hopeful 32nd seed, first time qualifying Kazakhstan. Kamanchik and friends. I might add, and friends. This isn't just the Kamanchik show. You've seen some really impressive stuff from both Revexi and from Plombire. There have been several really clutch moments from everyone on this team. It isn't just Kamanchik being your single star player here. And Kazakhstan are going to be leaning into the Free Mod 1 as their next pick here. This could be the one that closes it out.
Oh, this is a spicy pick. I guess they didn't want to try some of the other aim-heavy picks. They were kind of weird, kind of gimmicky, skill-cappy, but this swinging rhythm, finger control, aim control, hard to ack. I would have given this, honestly, as a Japanese pick. This is a brave choice here from Kazakhstan. A nasty one. And Japanese mod players are going to be licking the lips at this one, I think. I can see them really popping off here.
Yeah, I would expect this one to be quite Japan favored. I mean, this one is a CS 4.5 AR9, a custom song, might I add, an OS original from Toromaru Eptide, mapped by Calicube. Yeah, it is a really good song. I love the vibes that this song gives. It is very control heavy, doubles heavy swing control. With hard rock applied to this, it's really hard to act, which you have to think maybe Japan could be in a struggle. You may have to rely more on your reliable no-mod and hidden players, because this map is really difficult to act with hard rock applied to it. It massively increases the OD. It makes it just really tough to land with good act. And if you're going to be having your consistent no-mod players here, obviously you're going to have one play be forced, most likely Revexy here for Kazakhstan. But I'm expecting to see Kamachik on the hidden. I'm expecting to see Shasti and Turnifest on the no-mod. You see TJ Valley come in. Is this a double hard rock from Japan?
It could be. AR9, it's the sort of map where you might want that AR10 reading just to get the rhythm down. It's harder mechanically, but it's not too hard on the aim. I'm sure those two players would rather take the AR10. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. And yeah, roll pan hidden. Let's see it. Let's see it.
What are we going to see here from these teams?
It is
going to be what we expected from Kazakhstan. But for Japan, Teacher's going to be rocking the no-mod here, along with Invoker. The two modded players you're looking at for Japan are Rollpan and Varvalian here. Rollpan on the hidden, and Varvalian on the hard rock. Japan back against the walls, facing a Kazakhstani pick. It comes down to this. Can Kazakhstan make history? Going into this little early stage section so far, there aren't any drops, but Japan hold the lead by about 20,000 in accuracy. But that's not much at all. We're really early into this. There's still plenty of time. This map is 3 minutes long. It's a good length here. So far, so good. We're not seeing any drops going past this first quarter here.
Accuracy telling a story at the moment. Japan with a pretty significant accuracy lead. The accuracy does pay out a lot on this. If you can hold it, 97% on this by the end is excellent. Just to give you something to measure by there.
Going into this little difficulty ramp-up section here, a lot more doubles and a little bit more of the aim requirement here. The first drop is going to be Turnifest for Kazakhstan. Shasta is going to join him as well. Are we going to see any trades there from Japan? So far, looking really, really good. Especially Tichi holding on to the top. Accuracy in the lobby. Shasta is going to drop once again for Kazakhstan. Turnifest once again. Revexy and Kamachik, the last man standing here for Kazakhstan. Varvalian is going to drop. The two recurring drops from Shasta and Turnifest are the only drops seen from Kazakhstan right now. Kamachik and Revexy, despite really struggling the act department, keeping the combo game alive here. It's just Varvalian to have dropped for Japan. There's still 3 big combos here that could keep this lead alive. But there's Revexy that has to have sealed it now going into the next third.
Yeah, past halfway. And yeah, those FCs were holding. The mod FCs for Kazakhstan holding was a scary place to be. A reset from Rollpan, but it's 2 FCs to 1. That's a big lead. This is looking pretty signed, sealed, and delivered to me, Shiba. Japan just too good at this gimmick skill set, man. This pick has not worked out here.
Unfortunately not. Maybe Kazakhstan were really hoping for the combo game to get them through this, because it's very clear that accuracy-wise, they are not comfortable. Kamachik is still holding on to this full combo, but there's literally nothing he can do. The 2 full combos from Tichi and Invoker are going to keep him at bay entirely. Not only that, but the accuracy overall from Japan is just really oppressive here.
Well, reset from Japan, though. But it's not going to matter, sure.
No. There's nowhere near enough time. Then the only score that Kamachik can get left, if he holds on to the rest of it, is 400, 300k. There's 600,000 and 700,000 score in favor of Japan. There is no way Kamachik can come back from this. Fortunately, with that drop, it's 100% solidified here. It is going to be Japan to take this. A breakpoint has been exchanged. Despite Kazakhstan winning 2 breakpoints here, that's going to be 1 there for Japan. And they've got a chance to convert it and secure tiebreaker with their next pick. It's a toughie, man. I would maybe have expected no mod 1 pick here for Kazakhstan, but it seemed like they were really banking on that combo game, which unfortunately was not it. 3 B ranks for Kazakhstan, a S rank for Rolpan.
Yeah, big score there from Rolpan. The gimmick player on that hidden, excellent. And solid accuracy across the board from Japan. A good run from them. A mispick from Kazakhstan, I'd agree. That wasn't it, Chief. But they have tiebreakers still, so they're still in a good spot. If the pressure is on Japan to pick well here for their final pick of the match. And on the board, though. I still think they have plenty of picks here that are good for them. They have the versatility to pick into Kazakhstan here. They still have 2 control maps in no mod 2, no mod 3. Should be a good shout for them. The remaining hidden as well. Shouldn't be too bad. They did ban out the hidden 2. Very different sort of map though. So plenty to work with here, even if it is their final pick.
Japan are going to make the most of their time out here, making most of their time.
Yeah, they're really going to mull it over. They really don't want to rush into anything here. But it does seem pretty clear-cut to me about the strengths of Kazakhstan in this match. Their mechanics and their speed have been excellent. Even the hard rock 2, it is precision, but a lot of it was flow aim streams and aim on the precision and did well there too. So it's clear where their strengths lie. And you know what? That plays into it because they've guaranteed TB, and that TB is very aim heavy. So I think they have a good chance, even if it goes to that TB.
Yeah, Kazakhstan have put themselves in a really secure spot here. I mean, the nerves from Japan are going to be really big. I mean, think of it that way. Like a legendary OC Nation is going to be put up against the wall against a team that I don't think anybody expected to even get a point against Japan. So Japan are trying to compose themselves here. They're trying to keep themselves cool. They're trying to keep themselves fine. And they're either going to take their time with deciding, or they're going to be using their timeout to practice. It's one or the other. What matters is what they're going to lean into next. You still have some maps that really do lean in favor of Japan, particularly maybe the hidden 1 and the no mod 2. I'm excited for Japan to probably lean into here. I don't know if you really want to take the risk with Hard Rock 1 and no mod 1, considering how well Kazakhstan have fared on the aim. Hard Rock 1 is potential. You do have a valiant and you do have a good Hard Rock squad. But considering Kazakhstan won the Hard Rock 2, it's a scary prospect. I think they're going to lean into one of those maps. Number 3 is also very possible here. I'm not really sure. What map do you think they're going to go for at Doomsday? Because if I'm honestly looking at this, I'm thinking Hidden 1.
I'm thinking Hidden 1 as well, to be honest. Although I think no mod 3, the cycle, isn't not a bad shout, simply because that map is it's a map that really benefits the teams with a higher skill cap, which describes Japan to a T. It's a hard map, and their hard carry players should do well. I can see Kazakhstan having players that will really struggle on cycle, so it could be a good pick to just completely put them out of the game, really. But I think Hidden 1 is the safe option. Get them onto that reading, get them onto that density, and break out those Japanese hidden players that are going to do some damage. But I can see why they're taking the time, because there's plenty of options they could go for. Seeing how the players are feeling, seeing which one they prefer. And there it is, Shiva. No more 2. Jerry beans. Tasty.
I love Jerry beans. They're my favorite candy.
Have jelly beans, dude?
When was the last time you played Bean Boozled with Doomsday? Because I haven't played that game in years.
God, it's been years.
Probably. I remember when it was like a childhood trend that everyone would play Bean Boozled.
But I've got to be iron stomach, so it's like, I'll just eat the whole lot. It's fine. Too easy, dude.
Exactly. Alrighty. Let's talk about this map, Doomsday. Yeah, let's talk about this normal 2, because this normal 2 is very much a stream tech with lots of cuts and in weird levels of control requirement in this. The key eyes especially ramping up in difficulty. 2 minutes and 52 seconds long, CS 4.38 on 9.6. 180 BPM. BPM isn't really that big of a deal. What really matters here is those key eyes and how difficult those cut sections are, because that's really where this map lies.
Yeah, it's all about the cuts and the burst sliders. Not too much aim, but you have a lot of control on those burst streams. Japan have some premier players when it comes to this style. Kazakhstan have some decent ones, but you feel as a 4 against the 4 of Japan, it's going to be a big ask. But we've said that a few times this match, haven't we, Shiba? They've definitely went above and beyond our expectations on a few of the maps we may not have expected them to do so well on. This one could be no exception.
Once again,
lineup. I'm not going.
Japan's back against the wall. Japan's back against the wall here. The thoughts, the dread of potentially losing is 100% looming over them. Kazakhstan are on a high right now. Are they going to be able to close it out? Of course, you're looking at Kamenchik and Revexi to really perform in this. Revexi especially, always been one of those really strong tech players for Kazakhstan. So I'm looking to see what he can do, along with Kamenchik, Bombira, and Shasti coming in as well. For Japan, Altalin, Varvalian, Tichi, and Kong Kinokon. Not too surprised with this lineup, Doomsday. I think, I'm not surprised with this lineup. I think this is what I would have called for Japan to run.
Yeah.
But here we go.
That is the lineup. I mean, you could have put Rolpan in there, but Kong Kinokon is an ideal substitute. Not a very long map. Could be the one that seals a win for Kazakhstan, or it could send us to a TB here. It's all on Japan to perform. 2 players breaking in this intro.
Shasti's going to be first to drop. Varvalian and Kong Kinokon is going to drop. Combo advantage here for Kazakhstan going to this intro. But the difficulty is going to start ramping up really, really soon here. Varvalian's going to drop once again. Tichi and Altalin, the last 2 combos for Japan to keep this alive. Shasti's gone, but that's not the combo you want. We're building up here, up to the next Ki, the first Ki, where the difficulty is going to really get hard here. That's where we're going to see lots of cuts and potential drops. This is where you're really looking at those carries here for Kazakhstan. Can you keep it alive in the hardest parts of this map? Fell up into the bridge. Bombira is going to drop. It's back to 2-2, but there's Altalin. Kongo Kinokon has a good recovery here, so there's still a chance for Japan to keep this. Kamenchik's gone. It's all up to Revexi here. And we're reaching the halfway mark. Are we going to see any more drops here from Japan? Varvalian's got the recovery, and Tichi's still holding on to an SS, might I add. He's looking really good, not only in combo, but in accuracy, keeping Revexi at bay and keeping that from overtaking any other combos aside from his own. That's the only drops we're going to see. Varvalian with that recovery is going to keep Japan in that lead and gaining up towards 100,000 score.
Yeah, the 1FC to 1 at the moment, still very close. All to play for, but this slow part is going to give Japan a nice base to rack up that score. Varvalian holding amazing act, just needs to find some aim consistency, and he seems to be doing so. Just a moment now before the next big drop. The build-up into it is breakable. Coming up now.
Shasti's gone. Revexi still has this combo, but Tichi remains keeping him at bay. Altalin's going to drop. But Bombira and Kamenchik have got great recoveries here. They're going to remain a looming threat here for Japan if the big combo from Tichi goes down. But there's Revexi. Shasti as well. Tichi keeps it going. Varvalian remains unfazed by that early drop. And it's just falling apart now here for Kazakhstan. Kamenchik is the only one recovering now, going to this ending section. Tichi finally goes down, but it doesn't matter. Japan are way too far ahead here for Kazakhstan to get anything on them. Doomsday, we are going to be seeing a tiebreaker. Once again, the second tiebreaker in a row for Japan. It's do or die on this next map. Japan take it on this map, but it's up to the tiebreaker to decide the fate of both of these teams. It all comes down to this.
Yeah, we played 8 maps. We can't separate the 2 teams. So it comes down to map number 9, the TB. Japan with some good scores there, by the way. Varv with a brilliant reverse choke. Tichi pulling it through for his team. Their tech prowess, so strong. Hauling themselves back from 4-2 is no mean feat. Great mental resilience. But it is time now for the last map. Asriel.
People.
The Asriel banger.
People, I'm so sorry, but I'm in need of leaving this. Unfortunately, I have something planned that I need to attend to, which I cannot carry on this TB, which hurts my soul, and I'm so sorry. But I will be watching this match in spirit, and I'm looking forward to seeing what will go down. Replacing me will be the wonderful Dio, who I'm sure will give you an equally as fabulous show. So please enjoy the TB and enjoy the match. I'll see you all soon. Much love. On to you, Dio.
Thank you, Shiva, and hello, Doomsday. I am so happy to be here for this tiebreaker. It's history in the making, man. This is an incredible match so far.
Yeah, this match has just blew everyone's expectations out of the water. Who predicted this before this matchup? This is a ridiculous matchup. Kazakhstan and their aim prowess and speed prowess have taken Japan all the way. And Japan have had to dig deep for this. They were behind by 2 points. They had to pull it back, but they have done so. They got the experience and the nous to do it. And now they have the momentum. Let's not count that out. They've got a head of steam here, but they're coming into an aim-based pick that Kazakhstan have been so strong at in this matchup already.
Yeah, as you said, Kazakhstan really solid on the mechanics overall. Wins so far for Kazakhstan, as a reminder, DT1, DT3, Fremod 2, and Hard Rock 2. All pure mechanics maps, basic mechanics picks. The Hard Rock 2, sure, it's a precision pick, but it's all that flow aim and awkward aim in the pick. And this is a historic match. You cannot understate that. The only time since qualifiers has started that we have seen Seed 32 win a match was in 2020, where Malaysia beat Norway in the round of 16 losers bracket round 1 and advanced, I might add, to face Seed 6, who was upset by Seed 11 the same year in losers bracket round 2. We might just be getting a repeat of one of the greatest scripts of all time from past World Cups here, as we see Kazakhstan with the AIM roster, the mechanics prowess displayed in full during the rest of this match, going into an AIM consistency, slightly high BPM at 215 tiebreaker. This is made for them, Doomsday.
Yeah, this is the setup. Kazakhstan have their lineup. They know who's going in for this. They've been tried and tested, born in the fire in this match already. But Japan, their lineup, Cheat Invoker, Varvalian, and Rollpan. That is a lineup. There's a couple of players you may have put in for this, but Rollpan, instead of someone like Rikuima or Ryoshi, is a fine addition. Here we go, Dio. That's new seatbelts.
Fasten your seatbelts indeed. It is going to be a rough one for both of these teams. 5 minutes and 59 seconds, 215 DPM, and I think the single highest star rating in the map pool for this tiebreaker at that 7.2 star mark. Yeah, highest star rating map in the pool. So none of these players have played anything quite this high star rating in terms of the mechanics all match long. It's a very early miss for Chernofis and Revexi. One of the two players who really has been strutting his stuff through this match alongside Kamenchik for Kazakhstan. Everyone on Japan still holding through this intro so far, and a little bit of an accolade for Japan as well. Multiple 99s for Tichy and Varvalian, with Ropan and Invoker in that 98 range as well. With those extra couple misses for Revexi, it is a little bit of a score lead for Japan right now, but only 30k. Dooms, this map has a couple of sections to it. It's these slower parts into the key eye times, into more slow parts, in the middle of the map, about 2/3 of the way through, if memory serves, there's a streamier focus section that might catch some of these players off if they are not super familiar with Tiebreaker.
I'm sure they've taken a look at it, although not looking at the TV is something many tourney players are guilty of. Hopefully that's not happening here. The first FC drops for Japan. They've still got 3 against the 1 in Kamenchik for Kazakhstan. So early on, Japan looking in a really good spot.
And Varvalian, Rollpan, and Tichy still holding on to these FCs for Japan. The return of Varvalian and Rollpan was foretold this year as the rise of Japan in the OS World Cup once again, but for them to go to tiebreaker here, I think is really, really rough spot for them to be in. That said, they're looking good so far. Like you said, 3 full combos to just the 1 on Kamenchik for Kazakhstan. And contrary to how the other mechanics picks in this pool have gone so far, it's Japan with a huge advantage about halfway through the map. We're going to get that stream section soon in this pick. It's going to be coming up, I think, relatively soon after this slow section is over. So we'll see if that changes the landscape of this pick at all. But 160k and rapidly climbing for Japan with those FCs looks very, very good for seed 17 in this match.
They have a lovely advantage by the time this map steps up again. Actually, the section does come out of nowhere, though. It can really catch you out. But Japan have a lot of insurance here. So the backing players for Kazakhstan have struggled to get their consistency down, trying to keep their nerves together. I don't blame them for this new team. But they have an opportunity if Japan finds a cough in the section coming up. But they really need to break. If they hold through this, it might just be over here for Kazakhstan.
Here we go into the more difficult section again. Some 1/3 catching off for Valiant. Neja and Revexi also dropping here as Tichy and Rolpan hold the full combos for Japan. Kamenchik drops as well, and now it's only Tarnofis for Kazakhstan against the 2-way full combo from Tichy and Rolpan. Invoker on better combo as well. It's a 4-way wipe for Kazakhstan. And the script may have tried for a repeat, but Japan say no upset this time around. We've still got 2 FCs. We've still got combo on Invoker. We've got 500k over Kazakhstan, and there was never any doubt, despite how close it may have seemed.
Nah, during this TB, the experienced players of Japan holding their nerve against Kazakhstan, just pulling through. They know exactly what they've done. They've been here, done that. They were here last week against China. So they have already gotten their battle scars from that one. They won't let the same drop happen here. Tichy gets that FC drop, but Rolpan, the veteran, coming back, pulling his team through it and making this tiebreaker win emphatic in the end.
Yeah, Rolpan, one of the all-time MVPs for Japan, alongside players like Var Valian. Rolpan is someone who has been with this country's OS World Cup team for a very, very long time. At this point, I'm trying to find actually exactly where Rolpan started. Played in 2020 and 2021, and in 2017, 2018 under a different name. So has been here for 4 of the last 6 years for Japan. Back again here for 5 out of 7 of the last OS World Cups for this Japanese team. And look at him go, man. Drops the ack a little bit at the end, but is 900k plus on the TB, looking for that full combo. And 950k is the advantage for Japan. You look at the scores throughout this match beforehand, it looked good for Kazakhstan coming in, but the experience, as you said, the skill cap for Japan, and the depth of roster to be able to pull out 700k, 600k, and a full combo for Rolpan completely stuff any hopes and dreams Kazakhstan may have had of making it into the quarterfinals.
No, in the end, Japan just had too much about them. They're too streetwise to let this one drop from them. And they haven't. They have pulled it back from 4-2 down, mind you. They have had to come back really hard against a Kazakhstani team who have exceeded everyone's expectations here. No one expected such a fight here from this new team. But they have given us a treat here, Dio. It is going to be Japan. They take the win and move on to next week.
And congratulations are in order both to Japan and Kazakhstan. To Kazakhstan for having, honestly, what I would call a successful World Cup for this team. You're seed 32 and you take seed 17 to a tiebreaker match in losers bracket round 1. That is a very good showing from this team. Japan, after struggling all the way to tiebreaker, pulling off the comeback, getting the win in TB by almost a million score, win the prize of facing Germany in the losers bracket round 2. So good luck to them in that matchup. Lord knows they're going to need it. That is going to be it for this match, though. We have another one waiting in the wings for you all right now. So big thanks in part to Doomsday and Sad Shiba for commentary throughout that match and for letting me come in at the end of it. We're going to transition over to the UK versus Ukraine for our next winners bracket matchup in the round of 16. And I will be joined for this matchup by the wonderful iFlame. Welcome in, iFlame.
Thank you. I'm not sure how to feel after that last one. Now, obviously, happy to be here, but such a devastating loss for Kazakhstan. That being said, we are here for the Battle of the UK as United Kingdom against Ukraine. Ukraine had a performance I don't think anyone expected either. Another big upset for them, 5-0 over Indonesia, now up against this UK team who had a somewhat closer match, but they were missing a Kolibet and Easy Champ last week, so they're going to be back this week, and they're going to be looking to put up a dominant performance.
Yeah, let's see if they can replicate their performance from last weekend. That said, the United Kingdom last week, 5-3 against Turkey, but that was without both a Kolibet and Easy Champ. As far as I know, they've got their full roster for this match. They came prepared for a Ukraine squad that has looked on the rise both this year and last, with the upset this year and with a fantastic performance against Team China last year, taking that team to tiebreaker before eventually being eliminated in the World Cup 2022. So I am excited to see how this matchup starts out. This is a very good roster for the UK, though, and a very big seeding difference out of qualifiers. So unfortunately, I feel like, much like some of the previous matches we've seen today, the qualifiers are not necessarily going to be a good indicator of exactly how good both of these teams are, because Ukraine have been playing up to the level of their opponents so far in this tournament.
They have. It wasn't just an underperformance from Indonesia. Ukraine have generally been putting up really good scores. They had the #2 overall score on both DT1 and HT2 last week. Looked incredible on the DT2. The problem for them is up against the UK, this team has been monstrous on some of these hidden picks. There's the DT2 banned out as expected. Ukraine, I think you have to ban the hidden 2. United Kingdom has looked so good on those, especially in the qualifiers. They had the #2 and #1 scores, best hidden team in the tournament, in qualifiers at least. Not so much last week because they were missing 2 key hidden players, in Easy Champ especially, who is so good at these hidden picks, but it's going to be the Nomad 4 instead, leaving both hiddens open is a bit of a shocker to me.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the reading regardless, so it does make sense still.
Yeah, I was going to say, yes, they were the #1 hidden team in the tournament and qualifiers, but this Nomad 4 is scary, man. This is something where if you are not well practiced on the pick, if you don't have players who can handle that kind of really overlap-heavy reading on Nomad, which is an incredibly difficult skill set to be proficient on and to be consistent on in a tournament setting, you're going to have a bad time with it. But fully expecting the hidden 2 first pick and the hidden 1 follow-up from the UK at this point, as you said, iFlame, they were the #1 hidden team in the tournament during qualifiers, and Ukraine had some unfortunately lackluster scores in comparison to the UK. Just comparing their top scores from both runs, it was a 1 million score difference for the UK on hidden 1 in qualifiers and a 1.4 million team score difference on the hidden 2, that low approach rate map in the qualifiers. This map, actually, for hidden 2, far harder than the hidden 2 in qualifiers, as it's pretty huge mix of lots of different skill sets on hidden. That said, I think the hidden 1 is a little bit more of a toss-up. You saw some really good scores from the Ukrainian roster on hidden 2 last week, which was that awkward aim hidden pick. 3.5 million team score for them on that map. So I think the hidden 1 a little bit more of a toss-up, but this hidden 2 almost certainly massively UK favored.
Yeah, and to give credit to the UK roster, they were #2 overall on the hidden 2 last week, but it was not the AR8 hidden. AR8 hidden was the hidden 1 last time around, so maybe they can compete on the hidden 1. Hidden 2, not so much. We're going to see Easy Champ back in the lineup for United Kingdom. Kolibet is back, you have Bubble Man, and you should just have Rudjay most likely, or potentially King. It's going to be Hante actually, filling out the last slot here. And Rat GPO is back for Ukraine, along with Sherry Tori.
very surprised to see Raft GPO actually in for Ukraine this weekend. Did not play a single map in the round of 32 and only played 5 of 22 for them in the qualifiers. I have heard tellings of Raft GPO potentially not playing in the rest of the World Cup, but here he is for Team Ukraine. And if you remember anything about last year's World Cup, you will remember Raft GPO being the X factor for Ukraine in their deeper run than expected in the World Cup in 2022. So very happily surprised to see Raft GPO in for this Hidden 2 to start things off. Potentially an even closer match than we were already expecting between these two teams. That said, UK have Easy Champ and a Collie back, baby. It's time for these top 2 players from the qualifiers for the UK to strut their stuff, flex their muscles once again in a high seed versus low seed matchup here in the winners bracket.
Yeah, they're showing up to this match with something to prove after a close match against Turkey. Even stylistically, this map plays really well into the favor of UK. It is kind of a flow aim Hidden 2, not one of your kind of aim-focused, reading-heavy Hidden 2s. And Ukraine has really struggled with the flow aim, with the ult so far in this tournament. And so as we get into the Hidden 2, we'll see if Ukraine can compete on this one. We see some early accuracy drops from Sherry Torre. Should recover, but this one gets very quickly into it. It's actually going to be Bubbleman and a Collie Bed who missed early, very quickly traded back by Ukraine. But Anavel not having a good time on these bursts. The accuracy is just falling apart all over the place for Ukraine. It's the 3rd miss for Ukraine. Raft GPO now. Just Poma. Okay, I take it back. Poma has fallen, and now it's Hante Easy Champ running away for UK. And it's a long one, but it doesn't get any easier.
Yeah, remember when I said that this map was far harder than the qualifiers Hidden 2, the low AR mapping qualifiers? I was not kidding, man. This map mixes so many different skill sets together. The mix of flow aim, 1/3 finger control and aim control, awkward aim, finger control on these doubles as well. So difficult all throughout this map. That said, we now see a couple of other breaks from the UK. Haunt and a Collie Bed missing once again, and so it's only Easy Champ left on the full combo, and actually better supporting combo for both Roman and Onevel on the side of Ukraine. Unfortunately, Onevel missing once again for Ukraine on that doubles finger control section right here. None of this map is easy. You might see some of the really good reading players in this tournament make it look simple. I mean, it's just doubles, man. Come on, it can't be that hard. But the mix of skill sets makes everything in this map exponentially harder, and it becomes so difficult to be consistent at every aspect of the map when there are so many to contend with over such a long time as well. 4 minutes of this pick. Crazy difficult across a very long map means that the consistency shown from players like Easy Champ on a map like this is all the more impressive.
Exactly. This is arguably the hardest map in the pool to me, and this is the kind of map where if you have one of those very well-known, very talented low AR players like Easy Champ, they can absolutely take over lobby. And honestly, at this point, Sherry Torre, Raft GPO find another miss. If Easy Champ keeps this up, we could be seeing a 1v3, a 1v4 even. Easy Champ is not far behind, maybe 250k, and there's just almost no combo on Ukraine. It's just Poma.
Yeah, this is just nasty from Easy Champ right now. 440k the score lead for UK, 450k, now 460k climbing, but the score lead and Easy Champ's score are matching right now. Even without Easy Champ, this is still 3v4 material from the UK off the back of a very high combo from Bubbleman and better overall accuracy. Look at the act for UK, 93, the worst act in the lobby for UK on Bubbleman right now. As we get into another really difficult stream section, more misses to come through now from Roman as well, dropping the highest combo for Ukraine. But as I was saying, 91, 92, 93, 94 for Ukraine. 93, 95, 96, 96 for the UK. Big act lead contributing to what is an absolutely massive 800k score lead for the UK. And with further misses coming from everyone on the side of Ukraine, UK is on track to double team score on this map, which is something you very rarely see in the World Cup.
Yeah, and this is one way to make a statement for Easy Champ. Potentially, I don't want to say it yet. Oh no! No! I didn't have to say it apparently, but a statement regardless. Nearly 900k on probably the hardest map in the pool, and that's going to be a good feeling coming back after missing last week. Ukraine are going to look to get one back, but man, what a start.
Yeah, dominant first pick for the UK. What more can you say, right? It's not quite double score, but they almost made it there off the back of maybe a little bit higher combo for Bubbleman and a full combo from Easy Champ. I think that could have easily been double the team score for Ukraine. 400k, the highest score for Roman, only higher than a Colibed on the side of UK. It's an absolute team wipe. And, that's what you expect from a team that was number one on the hidden pool in qualifiers coming into this matchup to pick the hidden to one of the hardest, if not the hardest map in the main map pool in this round of 16, and the far higher seeded team in this matchup. You expect that sort of dominance on the first pick.
We are getting a very quick free mod 2 pick, Thought Crime, so they're going to go into the aim, and I think we're going to see them looking towards that aim as much as possible, but this is a really tricky aim pick, quite long again, so consistency is going to be important, but it is pretty balanced as well, very spiky map, so I feel like this map kind of favors skill cap a bit, and to me, that is definitely in favor of the UK. We'll see what the plan is for Ukraine.
Yeah, you look at the matchup and the scores from last week. Ukraine with the number 2 score on DT1 last week. So I think the aim consistency is definitely there for this roster. Again, the number 2 score overall on the Hidden 2 last week, which might remind you again, for all of you watching at home, was the AR9 awkward aim consistency pick. Extremely similar in style to this free mod 2. So I think Ukraine picking very well for their first pick, going for this type of aim consistency strategy. And yeah, you look at the hidden one from qualifiers, it was definitely UK favored, but that was also not an aim map. You look at the Nomad one from qualifiers, you look at the DT one from qualifiers, those two aim maps, both contested by Ukraine. Both scores for Ukraine better than the bottom score for UK on the Nomad one, and it was kind of a split map again on the DT one with the order going UK, Ukraine, UK, Ukraine. So this is a skill set that, compared to the other maps, even in qualifiers, when both teams have their full roster, Ukraine was at least contesting the United Kingdom overall on these sorts of maps. That said, still a very good aim roster for the UK. You have players like Rudge, also known as Mr. Fudgeface in this match, and a Colibed on the side of the UK, who are incredible aim players. Bowman as well, and Easy Champ, both very, very solid aim players for this roster. So it's not a foregone conclusion for Ukraine to win this pick, but I do think they're picking smartly in this match so far.
I think so too. Shouldn't be seeing any overmods. We've got Easy Champ and Rudge, hidden and hard rock respectively, and I believe it was Navel taking the hidden and Tapak on the hard rock. And it means Bullman and Akali are going to be able to put up some no-mod scores. They're going to have a bit of an easier time on this one. And I think there is going to be a lot of pressure on these no-mod players to hold on to those big combos through these big spiky jump sections. We do see early miss out of Easy Champ on the hidden.
Probably won't impact too much, as this map really is one that kind of builds over the course of the song. Very, very similar to lots of other maps in the ranked section. You see far more maps like this that build in difficulty over the course of the song than ones that are quote-unquote tourney core and just the same difficulty from the start as they are at the end. And aside from Easy Champ's early miss, it's a 3-way double S for the UK. Bubbleman dropping 100 there, but Rudge and Akolibed still holding on to those double S's. One on the side of Dench for Ukraine as well. Very good accuracy for Roman, spelled Poma, but it is actually pronounced Roman. I don't know how to pronounce Tapak. I'm just calling him Tapak.
I'm with you there.
Corrected. Yeah.
First big spike of the map, though. This is where we should start to see some misses. Everybody hits the stream, though. It's going to be Tapak who finds the first miss on the hard rock.
And there is a little bit of a combo advantage now and score advantage for the UK as they make it out combos intact from the first TI time in this map. SS dropped for everyone who was previously holding it, but full combos all still there, and very good accuracy again for Rudge, Mr. Fudgeface, and a Colibed on the side of the UK. Bubbleman as well with very good Easy Champ, though, actually missing on the cooldown there after the first KI time, and now with the slow section, combo lead a little bit at least for Ukraine to try and claw back a bit of the score lead that UK has been accruing.
Yeah, and Terrace, I'm told it's pronounced, has the recovery combo as well, so if they can hold on, they should be able to recover, but there's another very difficult section coming up, and so the slow section is not going to last quite long enough for UK to take the lead. It will help out a bit, but they really need to hold their combos through this next KI, and this is going to be the big test. If UK finds another miss, Ukraine has a chance, but they need to hold on to all their combos.
Yeah, this is a huge turning point in the map. If anyone misses here, you're cutting your score basically in half from the FC. So holding strong onto the combo is super important during the second KI time, and everyone makes it through iFlame. We've got still just an ever so slight combo lead for the Ukraine with Taras over Easy Champ on the slightly better recovery combo. Both players modding as well with very similar acts, so there's honestly not a lot of wiggle room for either of these teams. Ukraine on this first pick, again, picking smart, contesting the UK on this pick, but it is so close in comparison to the first pick from the UK. There's one more difficult section coming up right after this slow slider. There's a little bit more of slow section, and then we get the ending of the map, the single hardest part of the map so far.
Yeah, Dio, those ending patterns are absolutely absurd. It's really not going to come down to, well, potentially could come down to hold on to the combo, but I doubt we're going to see many, if any, combos held through that ending section. It's going to come down to who finds the least misses, who can hold on the farthest. Here we go into the really tricky pattern. Can anyone hit this big star pattern?
Everyone hitting it. There's the stream. Big 200 BPM stream. Everyone's still holding strong right now. It's 11K, 13K for the Ukraine as they all continue to hold these massive combos. Taras misses though on the hard rock right before the end of the map when Naval and Rudge follow suit, but it's still a good trade for the UK. And a Colibed, Bubbleman, and Easy Champ still holding on to this massive combo, 2 FCs to 2. But that extra supporting combo from Easy Champ is crucial, bringing that minuscule score lead for the Ukraine over to the side of the UK. Another miss from a Naval will seal it off, and that is a win by 70K, but a W is a W, 2-0 on the board for the UK off the back of that first pick breakpoint.
And yeah, Ukraine, unfortunate loss for them, but they're here to play. They can compete with this UK roster. All 4 of them hit probably the hardest pattern in the map that have caught out quite a few of the higher seeded teams. And man, such a strong lobby. I don't know how every single one of them hit that pattern. Now it's UK to pick, and I think they're going to go right back to that hidden.
Yeah, you have to expect them to go back to something like the hidden one with the Nomad 4 banned out. I think that is definitely going to be a good pick for them. I could see them, however, also going into one of the hard rocks or into something like the Nomad 3 or Nomad 2 in this match. UK with a very good score on the Nomad 3 in qualifiers, almost 2.8 million team score compared to 1.9 million, the best team score for the Ukraine. So I can definitely see them going into some of the more gimmicky Nomads. They did also outperform the Ukraine on the Nomad 3 last week, albeit by only 60K, so it was relatively close. Again, though, they did not have 2 of their best players in a Colibed and Easy Champ. Instead, it's going to be the Free Mod 1, a slightly different map from what we've been talking about, but alt nonetheless. Finger control, aim control abound in the only OS original in the round of 16, song by Torumaru.
And this is going to be yet another Easy Champ, a Colibed map, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see them largely stick with the same roster here. It looks like they are going to be bringing in Kingling and Hante, so maybe Easy Champ not in for this one. A bit of a surprise to me. Dench, Poma, and probably the second Poma going to come in here.
Yeah, I would expect to see a lot of the quote-unquote carry performers for the Ukraine on this sort of map. You saw OQ and Magnata Gamer on the Nomad 3 last weekend. You also saw a Naval on the Nomad 4 last weekend, so I'm not entirely sure exactly who their roster is going to be, but I would be very surprised to not see OQ in for something like this, alongside the original Roman for this map. As you said, though, no easy champ for the side of the UK. You've got Kingling, Haunt, Rudge, and a Colibed in for this one. I'm expecting Hard Rock on Kingling and Hidden on Haunt for this map, and probably Rudge and a Colibed to stick with the Nomad here, try and get those really high individual scores on a map that is honestly pretty difficult for this map pool. This kind of aim control, finger control hybrid map is very, very tricky, even for the best of players.
Yep, and there we go. Second Poma in the lobby. As for mods, it's not easy to say. I think we're going to see possibly Dench on the Hard Rock. Raf GPO, I could see taking the Hidden, but we could just as easily see the Poma in the top right taking the Hidden.
Why do we have multiple of the same team name on every, why do we have multiple of the same player name on every team, man? Like, it's ridiculous this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
this font does not make it easy for us. That 0 and the O look a little bit similar.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're just going to call them both Poma because that's what they are.
Yeah. Roman in the top right is Net Why Not, a name that I think is pretty well known throughout the tournament scene, and she's going to be taking the Hidden. Dench on the Hard Rock, Fake Roman in the bottom right on Nomad, and actually Hidden Hard Rock for Raf GPO on this map. That does not make this pick any easier, I might add. Like, if you can't read AR9, sure, maybe Hard Rock only, but wow, double Hard Rock for Ukraine on this pick is really something else. Hard Rock makes this map so hard. It is CS 4.5 Nomad. That is almost CS 6 on Hard Rock. And the aim control on these doubles gets very, very scary for your Hard Rock players. As we kind of expected, Hard Rock on Kingling, Hidden on Haunt for the side of the UK here.
Yeah, and this is a big risk for the UK, of course, with that extra Hidden Hard Rock, but I think it makes sense here. You know, they are already falling behind, and so now is the time to take the risks. You're not going to get the chance later. And so just hope for the best. It's not working out early on, but it could as we start to see the misses, especially if we see the combo recover for Raf GPO. That Hidden Hard Rock combo is going to be worth a lot if they can hold on, but holding on to the combo is the key here. If you can't hold the combo, the mods don't matter, and it is going to be Poma with the miss.
Yeah, Roman the only miss so far, though. There goes Raf GPO and a Colibed, so trade of misses. Does favor the UK a bit, as you don't get as much score out of that mod multiplier now from Raf GPO. There goes Kingling on the Hard Rock, though. It's now Dench and Fake Roman versus Haunt and Rudge, with the Hidden and Nomad on the side of the UK, Hard Rock and Nomad on the side of Ukraine. A little mod advantage, but so much accumulated score lead for the UK, already giving them a 100,000 score lead. And there goes Dench as well, so only one FC remaining on the new Roman in the bottom left for Team Ukraine. Everyone else on Ukraine resetting once again. It's two FCs still intact for Haunt and Rudge, with a Colibet on a good recovered combo as well. So this is just massively in the favor of the UK at this point.
Yeah, there's a miss from Haunt Days, so one FC gone, but the problem for Ukraine is that it's a low accuracy, no mod FC. You don't have the mod multipliers, you don't have the accuracy. To be fair, Rudge is down at 93, so not too far ahead, but you've got Kingling and Hante up at 95 and 94 respectively. The accuracy is adding probably close to 100,000 points to this score lead, and unless we see a miss in the next 5-10 seconds from Rudge, then it's probably just going to be too late.
Yeah, 300k score lead at this point with less than a quarter of the map left and only the FC on Roman. As you said, if Rudge doesn't find the miss very, very soon, it's all but over for the Ukraine on this pick. And UK looking to go up 3-0 to start this match off. Guaranteeing themselves top 12 would be a 5-win here, or 5-point win here, but 3-0, a fantastic start to getting into the winners quarterfinals. And with Rudge finishing out this Nomad full combo right alongside the Roman in the bottom left, it's the supporting scores that end up making the difference. And yes, those are full combos. They may be A ranks, but they are full combos. 93, 92 AC on the FCs. This map, again, incredibly hard to AC, and a lot of that extra score coming both from a little bit better combo, but also far better accuracy for the side of the UK. Double B rank for Ukraine compared to 3 A ranks from the UK tells it all.
Yeah, Ukraine do have the pick, but down by 3 is going to put them in a really tough spot. And because I still see quite a bit of confusion, the Roman with the O in the top right corner is Net Why Not, and the Roman with the 0 in the bottom left is Lapin777. As for the picks, Ukraine, we could potentially see them look towards some of these DTs. It was their best mod in qualifiers, but UK does have a solid DT roster as well. They have Malteser, who we haven't seen yet. Of course, Raj is really solid on those DTs, as well as Bubbleman. Maybe we see them go for another one of those free mods. Tough to say. Not a lot of good options.
I think at this point you probably want to see Ukraine move toward maybe one of these 2 remaining speed picks. You have the DT2 banned out by the United Kingdom. Speed is definitely scary into this UK roster, but I do think, when the other team is banning out that skill set and you have the better score on DT2 in qualifiers, maybe you just go for the free mod 3 and say, yeah, we can out consistency you on the early round speed picks. AIM, obviously, also a fine choice for this Ukraine roster. I think DT1 this week would be just fine for them. Same for maybe the Nomad one, but it is going to be that free mod 3, the speed burst consistency map. 240 BPM burst spam. CS 3.7, AR 9.2, a little combo dense for the hidden player, and a little bit of leeway for the hard rock players on this sort of map, as it is not quite CS5, so a little bit easier on the aim control.
Yeah, there's a little bit of aim requirement that can catch players out, but fairly minor compared to some of our DT picks. And so it really is going to come down to the consistency, right? This is a pretty long one at 3 minutes and 40 seconds. We are going to see both Romans staying in for this one, so I think we're probably going to see Net Why Not in the top right on the hidden once again, and we're going to see Ophiz and of course it's Malteser in for this this speed.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want Malteser in for this one if you are the UK. Ophiz, Akolibed, Malteser, Bubbleman was the roster for speed in qualifiers for this team. I don't think they actually played it in the round of 32. No. So no speed plays. Actually, yes, we do have a speed play for the UK in round of 32 on the DT3, of course, with Noah Kolibed. It was Bubbleman and Ophiz to fill in for that one. But I would be very surprised to not see a Kolibed come in for this one on the side of the UK. It is going to be Bubbleman, it looks like, actually. So maybe some hard rock for Bubbleman on this map. A very, very good hard rock player. Formerly, when he was an active tournament player and the most decorated tournament player of all time, he was a very, very good hard rock and speed player. Of course, first hard rock FC on Time Freeze, for example. So right at home on a map like this is Bubbleman, I think. As for the Ukraine, as you said, I think we'll probably still see Net Why Not on the hard rock. Not sure exactly who takes the hidden for Ukraine on this sort of map. I think that's going to be down to mostly comfort. And actually, it is Net Why Not. Dench on the hard rock. My mistake there.
Yeah, they're just going to be running it back, sticking with the kind of same mods as last time. Of course, this time, minus the hidden hard rock from RAF GPO. I don't think this is the kind of map that you want to risk a hidden hard rock on. And this is going to be a long one. I think we're going to start to see more drops into closer to the end of the map when the players start to tire, start to run out of stamina. And so you're going to want to really see the big combos built up at the start of the map. Early misses are going to be really impactful here.
I think early comfort here is going to be a big deal for a lot of these players. By the way, no hard rock for Bubbleman. Just going with the Nomad is Ophiz on the hard rock for the UK. Raj and Bubbleman on the Nomad, and actually Malteser on the hidden for this roster. So a little bit of difference there in the mods. Everybody's still holding the full combos, though. Right now, it's just a little bit of an ACK lead, giving the UK a pretty minuscule 9,000 score lead to start the map off. Really nothing to write home about so far. There's a slider break for Lepin and Bowman and Rudge, though, all breaking on the same pattern. So now combo advantage squarely with Ukraine, 3 FCs to 2 in their favor. Accuracy for the UK, keeping that score lead on their side for a surprising amount of time after the initial breaks to come through for both of their no-mod players, I might add. It's just the modded players remaining for the United Kingdom now a third of the way through.
It's so important to have those modded players. Their accuracies are really good too, so unfortunately for them, the mods are being matched on both sides. It was just a no-mod combo traded back, and there's a little bit of an easier section for Ukraine to build up a score lead. There goes Sherry Tori. OQ finds the miss now. That's all no-mods gone. It is just the modded players holding their full combos.
Yeah, and this is a pretty... actually, fine juncture for Ukraine. Ophis finding the drop on the Hard Rock. It's 2-1 in the full combos. Hard Rock for Dench still intact. No mod for Netwine, or hidden for Netwine not still intact. And as you said, Malteser finding the drop as well on the hidden there. It's the full team wipe for the United Kingdom. You've got recovered combos for Bubbleman and Rudge right now, but all 4 of those FCs are gone, and you still have 2 of them intact for Netwine not, Roman in the top right, and Dench on the Hard Rock. Really, really solid team score for the Ukraine right now, and if they can keep these full combos intact a little while longer, they're all but guaranteed to win the point.
Yeah, they do have to hold on to this next section, though, because of how long the map is. If they find the miss early on in this next section, there's going to be plenty of time for the UK to make a comeback with Rudge holding. There's a miss from OQ, but that's not the miss they need. It has to be, realistically, 2 of the 3 big combos, and at this point, it has to be all 3 of them. They are running out of time, and with the miss from Malteser, 1 combo drops from Ukraine, but it's not enough. They should be getting 1 back here.
Yeah, even with the miss from Sharitori once again there for Ukraine, it just does not matter. Netwine not and Dench on the hidden and Hard Rock respectively, absolutely crushing this map for Ukraine. 300k score lead and still climbing into the ending here. The no-mod recovery combos are very good for Bubbleman and Rudge, but it just does not matter as Ukraine continue to pop off on this map. And this is the kind of level that we've come to expect Ukraine to play up to during the OS World Cup. 2 years in a row now, they have kind of had a rough qualifier and then played up to the level of their opponents in the first 2 rounds of the World Cup, putting up a really solid play here on this Free Mod 3 against the United Kingdom, who, yeah, not one of the top teams for speed in this tournament, but a very good speed roster nonetheless that you expect to perform, and Ukraine able to beat them on this skill set now, earning themselves a point in the matchup.
Yeah, they've been playing so much better than their seed. If you just look at last week, they were probably, in terms of team score, one of the top 16 teams in the tournament, and they've had some incredible scores this weekend. 3.4 million on Free Mod 2 is absurd, and unfortunately for them, UK had just a little bit of a better score on this one. But UK does have the next pick. Ukraine is still down by 2, so they're going to need to find a break point at some point in this match if they want to make the comeback, and this might be their best chance to do it. But UK does still have that hidden. They do have the Hard Rocks as well. Kolibet especially has looked really good on Precision, was 3rd individual on the Precision pick last in qualifiers.
And definitely a lot of options here for this UK roster. I do think if you are the United Kingdom, you want to pick into stuff that's a little more gimmicky. I think Ukraine is going to feel more at home on some of these more mechanics-focused picks. You look at the bans and the picks so far for the United Kingdom and Ukraine, respectively. It's the DT2 ban followed by the Free Mod 2, Free Mod 3 pick. It has been that focus on mechanics for this Ukrainian roster versus the focus fully on gimmick as the spotlight for the United Kingdom with the No Mod 4 ban, the Hidden 2 pick, the Free Mod 1 pick. So I think we're more than likely to see a pick on something like Coffins, on something like Jerry Beans, on something like Cycle from the side of the UK. And it is going to be that No Mod 3. It's going to be Cycle mapped by Moth for the round of 16 here.
160 BPM alt pick, so there's a little bit higher BPM than you typically see at this stage for the alt. Much more common to see closer to really anywhere from 130 to 150. So it makes the snappy patterns a little bit snappier and the flow a little bit more dense as well.
Yeah, it's a really tough map. You do get a little bit higher spacing on some of the flow aim patterns with how high BPM this is, and a little lower spacing on a lot of the snap aim patterns in this map. This map is also built into quote-unquote sections. You get some hard snap aim isolated, and then some hard flow aim isolated. So you still have to be good at both, but unlike maps like the Hidden 2, it doesn't mix those skill sets directly with each other, so you do get a little bit of leeway in dividing your focus between the types of patterns, which is helpful for a lot of players. That said, this is still one of the more difficult picks in the pool overall, and I think those types of maps will favor a higher skill cap team like the United Kingdom, right? You've got number 2 global on the team, you've got players like Rudge and Bubbleman who have been high ranked for God knows how long, you've got really, really solid skill cap players on this team who can still go in and do very well on these sorts of gimmicky picks. So I do like picking into some of the harder gimmicky picks in the pool as opposed to some of the simpler maps of that style, like Coffins in the Hard Rock pool. This is also a map that has a pretty notorious wiggle stream. You can cheese it and just flow straight down the line, but it's got to be very precise if you're going to go the cheese route on this sort of map.
It does, but I feel like we've been keeping an eye out for the wiggle most matches, and we really haven't seen too many players drop on it. It seems to be pretty well practiced. All the players are ready for the wiggle. They, for the most part, have that down, so I don't expect it to be a massive breakpoint, but certainly could claim 1 or 2. We see Easy Champ and Bubbleman come in, the last 2 alt players for the UK, especially in qualifiers. Easy Champ looked incredible on the qualifier alt pick, and I think we're going to look towards Easy Champ, as well as Akolibet, of course, to be putting up the big scores for the UK. And on the side of Ukraine, it's most likely going to have to be Net Why Not in the top right corner there, putting up the big score if they want to get a point.
A big early chain miss for Bubbleman at the start. I don't think it'll matter too much aside from this early score lead due to the accuracy. And just as a disclaimer, during this map, we're going to call the top right Roman by Net Why Not, and the bottom right Roman, or the bottom left Roman by Lepin, just to avoid confusion since there's 2 of them. I think that'll just make it easier on all of us. So let's just go with that. That said, no other early breaks from any of these players. It's just the early reset on the very first pattern of the map for Bubbleman. This map does not pull any punches. We're already into the first PI time. There goes Charitori, Easy Champ, and Akolibet. A trade of breaks favoring Ukraine right now. Bubbleman and Rudge on good combos. There goes Rudge's last remaining FC for the UK. It is matched by a trade from Dench, but that's 2-1 in favor of the Ukraine right now. Bubbleman on the reverse choke, and he drops the combo as well. iFlame, it's complete collapse for the UK during the first PI time here, as Net Why Not and Lepin continue to hold these 2 remaining full combos for the Ukraine into the next quote-unquote slow section.
Dio, it is all Roman on this one. All the combo on this map is held by Roman. Okay, I mean, it's still true. All the combo on the map is still held by Roman, just doesn't have quite as much combo. Dench finds another miss as well, and miss is now traded by Akolibet and OQ Charitori. Easy Champ now finds a miss, so supporting combo is not there on UK to quite match Net Why Not. Bubbleman and Rudge are on nice recoveries, but everyone else has found more misses.
It's not over yet. There's still good combo on those 2 members for the UK, as you said, but as long as Roman, Net Why Not, continues to hold this combo for the Ukraine, it's not going to matter. This FC is going to do enough work, but there's the miss right before the next hard section. Big flow aim diff spike here. Rudge is going to drop. Bubbleman needs to hold for the UK to take their points, to take the point on their own pick. It's all Bubbleman, the most decorated tournament player in the world, but he actually misses on the wiggle stream. That one big wiggle catches everyone off in this map. It's Easy Champ who's able to hit it. Everybody else finding the resets. He drops afterwards as well. It's only a 40k score lead. iFlame chain misses at the end here could decide everything, but there's 0 combo on any of the players. It's slowly going the way of the UK. There goes misses from Easy Champ and Akolibet. It's matched by Net Why Not and Lepin. 37k, 36k as Charitori misses once again. Akolibet's going to trade it out. It's still only a 30k score lead for Ukraine, but just a sliver of map left. All of the UK's hopes on this pick are going to depend on chain misses, and they will not be enough at the end of the map. It's Ukraine to take a break point and go up 3-2.
That was nerve-wracking to watch. Ukraine barely managing to close that one out, and I mentioned before this one, Ukraine need to find a break point at some point in this match to make a comeback, and they got it. That's the break point they needed. Now, if they just continue to win their own picks, they will make it to tiebreaker. They've put themselves in a really good spot to make a comeback here.
And
they...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, they still have another speed pick. I think it's the DT3 still open and probably should just be their next pick.
Yeah, I think that DT3 is going to be a good shout for them. This map at the start of the pick honestly looked really good for the UK. It had been the full gimmick focus for this roster. It had been wins on the gimmick picks and on a little bit of that aim control from the awkward aim on the Fremont 2s. And it's a very difficult map, so you think, higher skill cap roster, UK gimmick roster as well favored on this sort of pick, but Ukraine pull it out of their hats and make it work on that Nomad 3. And now, as you said, looking to tie it up with their next pick. I think DT3 is a fine pick. I think DT1 is also a good pick for this Ukrainian roster. We're probably going to see both of those picked in succession here with the focus on speed, with the focus on aim consistency that this roster has had. Notably, the DT3 not nearly as speed heavy as either the DT2 or the Fremod 3 in this pool. It's all triples and 5-note bursts, so you need a lot of that high BPM DT aim consistency in order to do well on the pick, but Ukraine does have that. They are a good DT aim team, so they should be able to make something like this work. Again, 3-way full combo with 930k on the 4th member for DT1 last round, but it's actually the Hard Rock 2 instead, completely departing from what we thought would be the focus in that speed, quote-unquote speed pool with the 2 remaining double time picks, instead for another different mechanics pick going into the Hard Rock 2 here. This is an interesting one. It is low BPM, high circle size, flow aim, and awkward aim. The name of the game here on this custom Hard Rock 2 map by Mordred.
This pick is a little bit out of left field from Ukraine. UK has obviously looked much better on the hiddens, but quite solid on the Hard Rocks as well. A Kolibet especially. I mentioned earlier, number 3 individual on the qualifiers precision pick, and so Ukraine is going to need someone to match Akali here. Whether that is Dench or possibly Net, why not? One of them needs to pick up the combo to match at the very least Akali bed, not to mention all the other very solid Hard Rock players they have. Ruj in here. Probably going to be seeing Kingling in as well, along with maybe Ophis, maybe Bubbleman. 50-50 on that 4th player.
Yeah, I want to also shout out Kingling here. Usually a very, very good Hard Rock Precision player. Hoping to see him in for this one. He did play that Hard Rock 2 in the qualifiers as well, and they played this last weekend, the other Hard Rock 2 in round of 32. So definitely assuming that it is going to be one of those other 2 players who played last weekend, either Bubbleman or Ophiz. It is going to be Bubbleman to come in as the 4th for the UK. As for the Ukraine, we get both Romans in once again. Netwy not on the bottom, Lepin on top, Raf GPO and Dench the roster for Ukraine on this map. This is a really interesting pick, iFlame. I am not sure how this one is going to go. It is a different sort of Hard Rock 2 from the 2 that we have had so far in qualifiers. It was a kind of mixed skill set sort of map. Lots of awkward aim, lots of flow aim, lots of slider aim and late tech in that map. Last weekend, it was a kind of full tech flow aim hybrid map in Nelv by Silent Room. This week, it's almost all mechanics, but very, very heavily focused on the flow aim. So I am super excited to see how this Ukrainian roster performs on this pick. For the UK, though, favored from the outset on paper with better scores across all of the Hard Rocks played in the tournament between these 2 teams so far.
And I wonder if Ukraine thinks the X factor here is Raf GPO, who did not play in the last round, was not available for the Hard Rock, but is a very, very good Hard Rock player. We saw Raf GPO taking the hidden Hard Rock on the free mod and putting up a decent score on it, but remains to be seen. This is not a long map, just over 2 minutes, and so this one could be over very quickly, as we're going to start to see quite a few early misses. It is going to be Net Why Not now in that bottom left, finding the first miss, and here we go. This ending is really, really tricky. We're going to start to see some misses very quickly. Kingling finds the first miss for the UK, and that's now misses traded 3 FCs to 3.
Yeah, this intro pulls no punches whatsoever. It is really, really difficult right from the outset, as you said. And everybody's still holding on, aside from those 2 early misses for Kingling and NetWhy There go NetWhy and Kingling once again, so trade misses, favoring the UK with a little bit of a score lead. But there goes Rudge as well, and now it's a 3-way full combo for the Ukraine intact as we get into some of these cut streams. There goes Leffen and Akalibed trading the misses once again. It's only Bubbleman left standing for the UK, and he falls as well. 2 full combos still going halfway through the map for Raph, GPO, and Dench on the side of the Ukraine. And this pick looking extremely good. The UK favored on paper, looking at past week's Hard Rock picks, but the Ukraine clearly picking this for a reason. 92 AC, be damned, Raph GPO can combo.
Hey, if you can hold on to the combo, that is all that matters on a pick like this. Raph GPO, partially the X factor indeed, but look at the accuracy from Dench. Was at 99, just below that now is so good. Raph GPO does find the miss, that's a big drop, but with Dench still holding, Ukraine are in a really good spot. If Dench can hold, they're going to take this one, but there's a quarter of the map to go.
Good supporting combo on 3 members for the UK as well. Akalibed, Kingling, and Bubbleman all on not too bad of supporting combo. Akalibed matching Leppen in the top left there for the Ukraine. But there go Kingling, there go NetWhy. It's another trade of breaks. Akalibed dropping as well, and that's a huge favored break for the Ukraine. Dench doesn't even need to hold on to this FC. It is all but guaranteed for the Ukraine on this pick. And Dench will complete the full combo on this map. Nearly 500k the score difference as Ukraine ties it up 3-3 in this match. iFlame, it was a 3-0 start for the United Kingdom before we got the first point for Ukraine, and they have now tied us up after a breakpoint and 2 successive picks in a row going the way of Ukraine. Momentum in their favor for the United Kingdom's last pick.
United Kingdom need to find some way to put a stop to this momentum. That's what they're going to look to do with their next pick, but of course they just gave up a breakpoint on their last pick, so they're going to have to be very careful with this one. I think we're going to see them take their time to really consider this one, but there's still the hidden one they have looked so good on. They haven't picked. There's possibly the Hard Rock one they thought would be good for them. These are both good options, you know. They have good picks into Ukraine, and so I don't think it's a question of, you know, trying to find the best of a bad pick. It's more, which of 2 pretty solid picks for UK are you going for?
Yeah, fully agree. I'm looking honestly kind of at 3 picks for them. I think Jerry Beans between Heaven and Earth and Coffins are all pretty good picks for this roster. The Nomad 2, Hidden 1, Hard Rock 1. But I definitely favor the Hidden 1 the most out of those. This is a team that had the 2 best hidden scores in the qualifiers on both hidden maps. So you're really looking at this Hidden 1 as a potential last pick for the United Kingdom here. And as you said, we need to see a successful last pick for this team, and it is going to be that Hidden 1. They need to stop this momentum, and that's how they're going to try to do it with this custom map by Seros. Yosuke Kinoshito is between Heaven and Earth. Very, very difficult, very tricky. 244 BPM awkward aim with tons and tons of high flow aim requirement on the 1/3 streams in this map.
Yeah, this is about as fast as you're going to get for a hidden aim pick. We're going to see Easy Champ back in, Akoli, Bubble, and Hante, of course. This is the tried and true hidden roster for them. And on the side of Ukraine, we do have a Naval, is kind of their go-to hidden player, but Ukraine has not had a lot of success on the hidden so far, so they have got to move mountains on this one. We are just waiting for the last player, likely to be NetWhy coming in for the hidden, has taken the hidden on the free mod, so should get them in the lobby, and we're going to get into this one. Ukraine, if they can take a breakpoint here, it would be a miracle, but it would put them in a fantastic spot.
Yeah, a miracle indeed, as seed number 24 to go up to match point against seed number 8 would be huge for this roster. They've already tied this up. I mean, on paper, this is already a massive overperformance for Ukraine. We've come to expect a higher level of consistency from this team in the bracket stage compared to qualifiers, but it never fails to be impressive just how consistent this team can be at putting up high scores, putting up full combos when it matters the most in the bracket stage. Qualifiers, sure, is important for seeding, but if you can't convert on your scores from the qualifiers, if you can't do well in the actual bracket, then it matters for nothing, only for your qualifying seed. And Ukraine, a team that is the exact opposite of that, just able to qualify in as a low seed, and for the last 2 years has really been a team to put fear into the hearts of giants during this tournament. The UK, one of the top 8 teams in the tournament, projected to do very well this year with a huge shakeup in the roster, tons of new players, tons of returning players to this roster. But they are now, after losing the last 3 picks, forced into their last pick here, needing a point here to go to match point against the Ukraine. Akalibed, Easy Champ, Haunt, and Bubbleman up against Shari Tori, also known as OQ, Raph, GPO, Unable, and Roman. That is Net Why Not Roman on the side of the Ukraine. Early miss for Raph GPO to start us out. Couple of early misses across both teams, actually. Akalibed, Haunt, and Unable also finding the drop there. So 2 full combos to 2. Better accuracy for the Ukraine at the moment.
Yeah, it's a tough start to the map, and what makes this map so difficult is you can't just be comfortable at the hidden aim. There are some cut streams throughout the map as well that you have to hit. It is really difficult to be consistent on those. That's what we saw claim the combos at the start there, and it is a bit more of an aim section as we see 2 misses from Ukraine. But as we get later into the map and we get back into a couple more cut streams, we might see some big combos drop. Now there's 3 misses for Ukraine. It's just Raph GPO holding, and even Raph GPO is 100 combo behind. The 2 FCs on UK. Shari Tori finds another miss, and things are falling apart quickly for Ukraine, but they have time.
Yeah, the, again, mix of skill sets on this sort of map with the high BPM awkward aim with the 1/3 flow aim is so difficult on hidden, especially on AR 9.2. It becomes one of the more difficult maps in the pool once again. The UK definitely picking a lot into those relatively difficult picks in this pool. And mostly with success outside of that Nomad 3 breakpoint. It is the reset for Haunt, but good combo on the rest of the roster. Akalibed on the reverse choke, Easy Champ and Bubbleman on the full combos. Just Raph GPO with comparable combo for the side of Ukraine, but good support from Net Why Not and Unable. So if you are going to see a couple of breaks from the UK, there is a chance at a comeback from the Ukraine. There's a trade of misses from Akalibed and Roman on the side of Ukraine. Raph GPO also dropping the biggest combo for the Ukraine. Easy Champ and Shari Tori to trade, with Bubbleman dropping alone on the side of the UK. It's unable to hold the only combo in the lobby now, as Haunt also drops on the side of the UK. It's a quarter of the map left and 180k score lead. It's going over quickly, but I don't know if it's enough. Unable is going to need to hold this into the ending for a chance at another breakpoint for the Ukraine in this match. A little bit more combo on Raph GPO and Roman as well compared to the rest of the UK, but there goes Unable, and I think that's probably a guaranteed win for the UK, but there's still combo on the rest of the Ukraine right now. The score lead's still going over slowly. There's another miss for Easy Champ, Haunt following suit, and now you start to worry once again for the UK. Shari Tori will trade one of those. It's 2 combos to 2 here, with Bubbleman and Akalibed needing to hold for the United Kingdom. Will it be enough? It's 70k and just a sliver of map left. I think they've done it, iFlame. Finally, another win for the UK after losing 3 in a row. They do take their last pick and go up to match point in what has been an incredibly contested match from the Ukraine.
They are going to put a stop to the momentum for Ukraine. Ukraine just needed that map to last for another 10 seconds. But not the case, unfortunately. It is going to be match point for the UK. But Ukraine have won their last 2 picks, and they could do it again. They are kind of out of speed picks, though, so there's not any picks that are nearly as obvious for Ukraine this time around. You could look towards something like potentially one of the Nomads, but it's going to be a difficult one, and I think anything they go for is a coin flip at best here. That DT3 is still open. That's probably going to be the pick.
I'm looking at DT1, DT3 for the Ukraine. We said that last time, and they went with the Hard Rock 2 instead. So, maybe we see the Hard Rock 1 or the Nomad 1 instead. But honestly, I would be very surprised to see either of those picks, given how dominant the UK was on Hard Rock, looking at the qualifier scores for both of the teams. That said, again, Ukraine, a team that overperforms qualifiers. So if you're comfortable on the map, I suppose qualifiers matters less for this team than it does for most other squads in this World Cup. Waiting on a last pick, there's the 2 AIM maps remaining in the pool in Mold and Kickstart My Heart, Nomad and DT respectively. 2 tech maps in Jerry Beans and Coffins remaining, and 1 AIM speed hybrid in Pressy remaining in the DT pool, or Presea, probably? I guess that's probably
Yep.
Presea. And it is going to be DT1, Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. This is a toss-up pick if I've ever seen it. It's AIM consistency, but AR 10.3, 268 BPM. This is a map that UK and Ukraine contested each other on during the qualifiers. You see very close scores, mostly in the 3 mil range for both of these teams on the DT1 from qualifiers, which is far more similar to this map than the DT1 from last week. Ukraine had a fantastic score on that map, but that was AR-10 Senya satellite double time versus a very different style of DT aim map here in the round of 16.
Yep. I like the idea behind the pick. When you look back to maps like that Nomad 3, it feels like Ukraine has been the slightly more consistent team so far. We have most of our UK roster in here. I would imagine it has to be Bubbleman for that last spot, and Ukraine, no one in the lobby, taking their time to figure out their roster on this one. We're probably going to see both Romans in here along with Dench, and my guess is Sherry Tori for that last one.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really rough pick for both of these teams. I'm already nervous for both of these squads. If this goes to a tiebreaker, you look at how this match has gone so far for the UK. You do have the win on Free Mod 2, but then the loss on the Hard Rock 2 as well makes you question exactly how much of an advantage you have on the aim consistency. I think it comes down to that tournament experience and nerve control on a tiebreaker like this. And so Ukraine, if they can hold their nerve during this map, if they can win on yet another one of these aim picks, you're kind of 2-2 in terms of aim picks at that point throughout the pool, and it looks like a very, very close tiebreaker between the two teams. We've got the roster for both squads in Kolibed, Rudge, Kingling, Bubbleman. Kingling has been popping off on lots of high AR DT picks recently in solo. Just somehow just got his first 8-star FC medal and on a DT map at that. DT aim, high star rating. Obviously, Kolibed, Rudge, and Bubbleman all very good high star rating aim DT players. Versus now you see Taras in for the Ukraine. You see, I believe that is Lepin, actually, not Why Not in for the Ukraine. The Roman in the top right there, alongside Raf GPO and Dench to try and bring us to a tiebreaker in this match.
This one could go either way. This is the kind of match that Raf GPO and Dench, who have looked fantastic for Ukraine, could do very well on, but you mentioned Rudge, and of course, Rudge was number 6 individual score on the DT1 last week. Looked incredible, and Kingling is so good at these aim DT picks. Has been in for just about every aim pick, and this could be it for Ukraine. The pressure is so high for all of these players. The nerves are going to be at their peak, and it's going to be a test of consistency.
Yeah, this map has a grand total of 2 triples. Everything else is single taps in this map. So if you are very consistent at single tapping this BPM, if you are very consistent on that high BPM, high AR reading and aim, you will be just fine on this sort of map. But that's all it's going to come down to. It is a miss for Roman in the top right. Lepin having a little trouble with the map. Raf GPO as well, dropping right before that. So 2 FCs to 4 in the favor of the United Kingdom right now. UK looking to close this out before tiebreaker. They do not want to go from 4-3 to 4-4 in this match, but there's still a long way to go in this map. It is 3 minutes before double time, so you do have about 2 minutes worth of map to go through here, and still a good combo on Taras and Dench as well for the Ukraine. So if we see misses from the UK, this is still a winnable pick for the Ukraine. But very, very difficult now with another miss and another miss for both Roman and Raf GPO. Rudge and Kingling will answer, but it's just straight up 2 FCs to 2 with no supporting combo for either team, and that favors the team with a 360,000 score lead in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, this is a big advantage for the UK, or Ukraine is going to need to see one, if not both of those full combos drop off soon, and look at the players these 2 full combos are on. There goes a Kolibed, absolutely nothing. It's just Bubbleman now. Oh, what happened to... Okay, Dench and They have two. There might be time. There's actually a lot of map to go, about a minute left, and even with Bubbleham, man, there's no supporting combos on UK. They somehow found 3 misses on that section, and if the 2 combos can hold on, they're going to come back. Oh, but there's a miss for Ukraine. It's now Bubbleman versus Dench, and Bubbleman is the tournament veteran, 7 times now the captain for this UK team, and I don't know if you can rely on a miss from Bubbleman, but that is what they need here.
Yeah, hoping for a miss on a map like this from the single most decorated tournament player in the world is not where you want to be for this Ukrainian squad, and it looks all but over in favor of the UK at this point. Dench is holding on to that full combo, but for what? As the 300k score lead persists for the United Kingdom. A little bit of client buffering here as we get into the ending of the map, and that looks to be GG. 5-3 for the UK in this matchup. A very, very close match and well fought by the Ukraine, but they will finally be knocked down to losers bracket in the round of 16.
Yep. When things are tense, when it all comes down to those last couple misses, it is, of course, the tournament veteran Bubbleman with nerves of steel to get UK that 5-3 win. Huge congratulations to them, and so well played to Ukraine. They're going to be dropping down to the losers bracket, but they put up some incredible scores, barely losing that no mod 3 with the free mod 2 with a very, very good team score. They're going to be a scary team in the losers bracket, and I believe they're going to be facing off against, is it Thailand? It is Thailand.
It is. Yeah, it's going to be Ukraine versus Thailand in the losers bracket down there. The United Kingdom, on the other hand, after a hard-fought 5-3 victory, wins the honor of facing the first seed South Korea in the quarterfinals. So rough shakes for them there. Unfortunate seeding. But that is their quarterfinals matchup as they advance into the winners bracket quarterfinals. Congratulations to Team United Kingdom for winning this match up 5-3. Very, very well fought match. Honestly, this was a close one. It was very well played from both the side of the UK and the Ukraine. Both of these teams having a really, really solid match overall. Have to shout out Bubbleman and Rudge playing fantastically in this match, playing 7 and 6 maps respectively. And definitely have to shout out Dench and Net Why Not playing 6 and 7 maps respectively. Dench top scoring 3 maps in the lobby out of 8 that were played. Fantastic performance from him in this match. That is going to be... Oh, go ahead.
All you.
All right. That is going to be it for us for now. Congratulations again to the United Kingdom for the win in this match. Good luck to them versus South Korea in the winners quarterfinals. Good luck to Ukraine versus Thailand. I think that'll be actually a very, very good match. Both of these teams kind of overperforming their seeding in the bracket stage so far. So looking forward to seeing how they do on an even more difficult map pool next weekend.
Yep. Next match is going to be US versus Italy, 18 UTC in an hour, followed by Poland, Brazil an hour after that. Those are going to be some exciting matches to watch, so stay tuned for that. I have been iFlame, joined by Dio, and of course a huge thank you to Trosk as well for the stream. Get your banners in the store, and we'll see you soon. Take care.